Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I am with him.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls. Kevin Garnett pushes him straight to the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. His name is Joe. Let's go.
This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show.
Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have nothing left in the tank. Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S. Nerd Show. My name is Dave, and of course, I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here, Aaron and Joe. Joe's to my left. I screwed that up. I botched it for you.
Joe.
Joe, yeah. I wanted to let Aaron do his thing. Go ahead, go crazy.
Nope, he's out.
Okay,
now.
all
He's
right.
out
So
now.
Aaron stonewalled it. All right.
Yeah.
So
He's giving you the side eye.
This is
That's the
Colin Kaepernick look.
The slant
right there.
face.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
It's like
just
line
right.
underscore line. That's
Yeah, that was it.
he's giving you.
I'm getting the Kaepernick face early here. I don't like it. I feel very uncomfortable.
I took it. Joe.
There was an awkward pause there. You had to jump in. You could have done it. Aaron,
Still awkward.
Yeah.
okay, all right. So, what do we got? How are you guys doing this week?
He was doing great until you skipped
Until
over
I
him.
fucked his name up.
Every day, everything was great. Aaron's life was going perfect, and then
He's gonna drop an A-Ron bomb later, like
A-Ron.
right in the middle of the show. He's gonna be like, "Hey
A-Ron
man, what you
bomb.
not mad at?" He's gonna be like, "Aaron!"
that needs to be your fantasy football team name in at least one of your 30 leagues.
An A-Ron bomb.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah,
One of your 30 fantasy football leagues. You need to be the Aaron bombs.
I want to get you like the old like Acme bombs, but it'll just say A-Ron on it, and then
that's
it'll be
a
like an
t-shirt
A-Ron bomb.
idea.
T-shirt idea. There you go. That's it.
Have it bombing the list.
I get the feeling, yeah, it'll be like coming out of the clipboard. That'd be awesome. So Aaron's not going to talk today. So Joe and I are going to do a podcast.
If one of the Boston teams wins,
Yeah,
I'll get that like bomb with A bombs in it
yeah.
tattooed on me.
Oh, there
I'll
you
get
go.
that done.
There you go.
I'll get that done.
Get an A-Ron bomb. I like it.
So you might as well.
You might as well do it anyway.
Might as well
Okay,
pick
I'm
out your
just-
tattoo artist now because
I'm just saying.
Pats
Yeah.
are locked and loaded right now.
That's true.
Bold
I do-
prediction.
I
Dave.
do feel
Bold,
that.
If you
bold
ask Robert
prediction.
Kraft, he already put those AFC Championship tickets in the.
Hate it.
We discussed this at length last time.
I hate that. I hate it.
Robert Kraft putting his dick on the table.
I dig it, but I hate it.
That you can't do that.
I can play both sides of the
No,
fence.
I don't think you can dig something that you hate.
Yeah.
Have you ever been a part of like a sports team where they do that, where like everybody starts celebrating, and then it's like, guys, there's still 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah. Right.
You can't do that.
That takes me
When you're
back.
the
And there's
Patriots.
not even like any time on the clock. They haven't started
Yeah, the
yet.
game
The
hasn't
first
started yet.
preseason game has not been played yet.
That's like they show up like in duck boats, and
Yeah.
they just every time, like
show
every
up to the
game, they
field.
just do.
I
duck
would be
boats.
okay with that too.
Be okay with that.
I would be okay.
So, what do you guys think? I mean,
I'd be okay if they hung the banner like right now. They hung the banner for
that's
this year.
Such a dick swing.
In
or
the
just
fucking,
hang a banner.
They had a-
just nothing written on
if
it.
they had a
just
banner hanging
banner.
ceremony for the Super Bowl coming up,
Right.
Just like at the first game of this year. Like, hi, welcome to New England, Kansas City Chiefs. Hold on for our banner hanging ceremony for the Super Bowl
2018.
for the Super Bowl that we haven't won yet.
That would be very intense.
Did you see the meme where it has him sleeping next to Giselle and her like, oh my god,
He's probably thinking about women.
he's probably thinking about other women, and then in his dreams, like, man, this year I'm gonna win my second in a row.
Yeah.
Next year I'm gonna win. The year after that, my third in a row. Next one after that, my fourth in a row.
Yeah.
And then she's still like freaking out
Yeah,
about.
she's looking at him. Yeah, I love that meme has like taken off with the whole like he's probably thinking about other girls, and then whatever face they put on that guy is really really funny. So what do you think? I mean, we got football coming up tomorrow,
I'm excited to see.
or when this comes out.
Yeah.
It'll be
I-
tonight
I-
when this comes out.
I'm so excited to watch Jacoby Brissett and
Yeah.
other players who aren't going to make any sort of impact on the Patriots play football today. Then
But I know that sounds very sarcastic, but you mean that.
I genuinely am,
No, I know,
that
yeah.
excited.
Right. It's like it's a
For
burner
like
game.
fantasy reasons and for like the Jets are playing starters in their fantasy football game.
Right.
Or not fantasy, preseason. In their
It
preseason
basically
football
is a fantasy football
Yeah.
game for them.
game. And the Jets are playing whoever they play at wide receiver.
Right.
They don't have the luxury of playing third string guys. It's like we're playing starter. We have to figure out who's catching passes.
like they need the work. Like that's the problem. Is they're
Yeah.
like, we need to figure out what are we going to do here. Yeah, that's tough. According to the reports, they made the Jags look sorry, really sorry.
Well, I
mean, it's not
the
hard.
Jags, that would be, you're telling me that's what would happen in a regular season
Right,
game.
that's true, yeah. But every year the Jags are one of the overhyped teams that they spend a ton of money. You know, they go crazy.
I still like.
Yeah,
I think
on
the Jags
2 players. That's how.
Right.
That's their MO. Let's
I
go
still-
buy the best defensive player on the market and then do nothing with them.
I still think the Jags could be good this year. Like I'm not down just because they
What does good get you though? Like in that,
I'm not like, hey, the Jags are gonna win the Super Bowl. But
like 6-10, good.
no, I think they could win the division.
in the South
Yeah, that's South
is really suspect,
is a
yeah.
shit show. I mean, the Andrew Luck's already. He might not even start the season.
Yeah,
Tennessee Titans, I guess, are kind of the favorite right
I
now
was
to
gonna
win
say
that
the
division.
Titans
Texans
aren't
still,
bad,
right?
man.
I think the Titans have overtaken them, and like experts, like the Titans, I've been hearing a lot of hype about.
there's a lot of talk about that.
Well, you also think the Texans.
The Texans,
They have to develop a quarterback.
and
Yeah,
I don't think their defense will be as good as it was.
no,
Last
I
year.
don't.
Well,
think so
didn't they
either.
lose their star corner?
Boye, yeah.
Yeah, he went to
It's
Cincinnati.
a pretty big loss in their secondary.
Yeah,
But I mean,
true.
they get J.J. Watt back, so
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're going to
What's
have and what's his name's playing
they
good.
still have Jonathan
Clowney's
Joseph.
playing good.
yeah. Clowney really.
I think they
did.
do have Jonathan Joseph still.
Yeah. Clowney did do a full 180 on what I thought about him as a number 1 pick.
Well, yeah. I mean, Clowney and when you have
together.
defensive ends that can rush the passer like that,
You don't need a great secondary.
you can mask a lot of problems with your secondary.
Right. Yeah. And same thing, like we've seen that with the Patriots a lot, where their secondary wasn't awful, but they just don't have a pass rush. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of just keep running for long enough, and you'll get
I
open.
mean, anyone can get open in 20 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah. So you guys pumped? You excited? I mean, the game's up. You got any input on the?
I got to see what the hell the Patriots like. We say it every year, and it's just they don't show us until like week 7 of the regular season what their pass rush and their scheme really is.
Right.
I mean, we'll get to watch like Rex Burkhead play probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way, early social media second, I saw you posted another
Yeah.
thing like what Patriots running backs going to get cut.
Yeah.
I want to know who the idiots are who are putting Mike Gillislee.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. There's 2 guys that voted
there
for
is
Mike
no
Gillislee.
fucking way
Right,
Mike
there's not.
Gillislee is getting cut. Like,
Right.
No.
None.
I'm not going to lie.
There's no way.
Who? Oh, yeah. No, never mind. Continue.
like
Yeah,
there's
the
no
Gillislee,
way. Like,
yeah.
I wanted to look at you guys and be like, you joined a Patriots like that thing?
like, yeah,
I don't
right.
think you know what you're doing.
Right. Yeah.
Because
That's
Mike Gillislee is not getting cut.
not going to happen.
There's
Not
no
gonna
way.
happen.
But how do people think
think-
Burkhead's getting cut?
I think my girlfriend voted for Gillislee.
All
She was
right.
one
I
of the
almost
2.
want to say it was either her or she voted for Burkhead. One of the two.
I think she
I
voted
think
for
A lot of
Gillislee,
people
but
voted
it's
for
probably,
Burkhead.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
I don't
that.
think
Well, with no Bolden, I think if Bolden doesn't get cut, I think that Burkhead.
I still don't think it's Burkhead.
I don't think so
I think
either.
it's Deion Lewis.
I don't think so. Yeah, I agree with you, but I think a lot of people are still on like, no, they don't want to get rid of Lewis. You know what I mean? Like,
Did you
think
vote,
they still
Joe? I
like
didn't
him.
see
I voted for Deion Lewis.
Oh, okay.
I don't think
We all did.
I don't
voted
think you
Lewis, yeah.
spend $3 million just to cut the guy
Right, I agree with you. That's I had a
before
a
he
long
before he
conversation about
plays a
this.
season.
Right.
Like before he plays a real regular season snap, you just cut him. That's just waste. That's like super unlike Bill Belichick.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's been very un-Bill Belichick-like this year,
Lately,
trading
yeah.
first-round pick for wide
I think
receiver.
he smells it. He smells. He knows.
Yeah.
He's there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He found that sweet spot.
He can smell those. He knew those AFC championship tickets were in the mail.
Yeah,
and he was like, I need to back this up.
Yeah, we got to get this going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they just run him out there, Lewis, and just like let him go apeshit in the preseason, and then find somebody that wants to like
I think
cough
you'll
up
see
a
a lot
second
of,
round pick?
I think
for
you'll
him or
see a lot of
something?
him. I think it'll be Bolden, Lewis, Burkhead.
Yeah, you'll see.
think-
You
I
won't
think-
see Gillislee.
And I don't think you'll see James White a lot. 'Cause I
Yeah.
think James White has superseded the Deion
There's.
Lewis
Did
job.
you notice no one voted for him?
Right.
James White.
He's also the one.
He's like uncut. He's like.
Well, it's because
there's
of what
no
he
way.
did in the Super Bowl and the
Yeah.
playoffs.
He's
in general.
cut proof. He's cut proof. There's no way.
Yeah, that's what. And
That would be like the most shocking cut of all time.
No, if they cut him, they would never cut him. They trade him. If
Right,
you
yeah,
could
yeah.
get back a good haul,
Right.
they'd trade him.
and the thing
Otherwise,
is,
they're
I
not
don't. I
going
think
to.
he's still undervalued. I don't think you would honestly get very good haul for James White.
I don't think
No,
so.
that's
I
what I'm
don't think,
saying.
I
I
think a lot of
think
people are
you'd
like, oh,
have
they
to
do
get
this
it.
all the time. Kevin Falk, Danny
Yeah,
Woodhead,
like,
Shane Vereen.
people
they
would
do
look
that
at it
all
and be
the
like,
time.
"Oh, he's not actually like he's not going to succeed outside of the Patriots." So,
Right. Yeah.
but
That's true. Yeah, that was a weird thing. I think my girlfriend voted for Gillislee based on the fact I'm assuming that she likes the name. Like that, she's like, "Oh, that's Gillisley. That's a nice name."
Well, I just called your girlfriend really dumb.
No,
So
I think
sorry.
if she knew better,
I apologize.
which I'm going to have to teach her a lesson when I get home. No, I think she did just to contribute. You know, what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she'd be like, "Here's a vote. I got you." And I
You
think
voted
Mike
for the
Gillisley.
wrong person.
You voted the wrong one. That's true. I got to talk to her. I'll talk to her when I get home. But other than that, you got the wide receiver depth issue. Who are the guys that you want playing in the preseason?
It's almost not an issue.
I'm saying
to
you
play?
have too much depth.
Oh, you'll
So
see a
now-
lot of like loose, like guys you
Matt Slater,
rarely ever, even lower than
even
that.
lower than that.
Like I'm talking like that Lucian kid they have, who
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
no one really
What's
knows
his name is
about.
probably going to be playing majority of the snaps in the safety position. Who's the kid that played rugby?
Nate
Is-
Ebner.
Nate Ebner.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be surprised if what's Jordan
Richards.
Jordan Richards plays a lot preseason.
He's had
They'll
a
play
good
both.
camp.
They'll both play at
Yeah,
safety.
yeah. He's had a really good camp.
You're
Jordan
not going to
Richards.
see Butler out there. I don't
No.
think.
No,
You're not
no,
going
no.
to see Gilmore out there.
Eric Rowe will probably be your number one corner.
Yeah, you'll see. Defensive line will be a thing to watch.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. That's the big one.
They don't
that
have
I
a
wanna
ton
watch.
of depth there, so you're going to
You got
see
a lot of jobs being
You're going to see a lot of
Captain.
like Derek Rivers will probably play.
right. We
You got to know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
were kind of going over it. A little
Oh,
bit
and
of
who's
work.
the other guy they just got? The other rookie they got. It was Derek Rivers, and then
There was another one.
defensive line. He'll play too.
Yep. We were going over it at work a little bit based on a conversation I had just with a friend of mine. 3 quarterbacks.
Brissett will play.
No, I don't mean for tomorrow. I mean like for your roster.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
3 quarterbacks.
Yep.
5 running backs. 4 running backs. 5.
That they have currently. Yeah.
No, I mean that you think
Like,
they'll
what are you
carry.
going to carry into the regular season?
I did not preface that at
If you
all.
think
so, yeah, that's my
if you
fault.
think Bolden's getting cut, then I think they might get that down to 3.
If Bolden gets cut, they'll have 4.
I think they might get it down to 3.
Yeah.
I
So
think-
Lewis and Bolden both.
Yeah.
Okay. Wide receivers 6, with Matthew Slater technically on the depth chart as a wide receiver, but you're not going to cut him.
We'll run through the wide Cooks,
You have
Edelman.
Edelman, Cooks, Amendola, Hogan,
Hogan.
Mitchell, Slater.
You'll see a surprise cut out of those.
Really?
I
So
think
who do you think it is?
It might be,
I don't. All right. So let's. So this is the
It's-
conversation.
I honestly-
not Edelman.
It's Amendola.
Still, even though you just signed him to the deal you wanted him to do.
I think you might still see a cut.
Yeah.
It depends on how they value some depth other places.
Right.
You know what I
Hogan.
mean?
Hogan if they cut a wide receiver.
No way.
know,
no
dude.
way.
Yeah.
He was so good last year.
He's so good.
And you already saw Amendola taking on a diminished role. I think Cooks just eats that entire role up.
And he's your only actual wideout other than Malcolm Mitchell. Like,
I'm
he's
just
not a
saying.
slot-
I
he's not a
think
slot
if they're going to
receiver.
cut a wide receiver, that's the one I see them
Why do
cutting.
you say that?
I just don't think that. I think they showed by going out and spending a first round pick on a guy that's going to play pretty much what he did last year as the outside guy. I'm not saying that's all he's going to do, but that's how I feel they're going to utilize him
I don't
more
see
for
him.
that.
I see him as I don't see him as taking Hogan's role. I see him as taking an expanded Amendola role.
I think we talked about this then.
It's almost a hybrid of the two, actually.
right. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Edelman's contract's up this year.
Yeah. No, he just signed an extension. Remember?
He did get an extension.
2 years. He agreed.
Okay. Yep. That's right. Yeah, because then we were like, oh, what the fuck? Because I thought Cooks was going to be the superseding, like the success.
I think they signed Cooks to keep Edelman's price down. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if Edelman wants
we're-
to stay with the Patriots,
Right. You're not going to be
he
our top
can't
dollar.
sign- because we have a guy who can replace you. So,
Yeah.
and he signed it. I mean, he didn't get a ton of money,
Of course. Right.
but he did make. I think he made like $9 million more, or something like that.
Because I
Over
think
the
your
next 2
core
years.
going forward is no Amendola going forward. Like
Yeah.
if you're planning for the future.
Yeah.
Right. So you would have Hogan, who's younger, 26, 27.
Yeah.
Right. 2-year deal, cheap. 2-year, I think it was like 2 years, 15. So it's like $7 million or whatever for his second year, I believe. That's off the top of my head. Edelman for 2 more years,
Yeah,
or 3 more years technically, and then Cooks for 2 years.
Amendola just re-signed, right?
Right.
See, he's perfect to move then. Mm-hmm. I think you could
But
get
his cap hit's probably going to be more in a trade because, excuse me, because they're probably moving his guaranteed around, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they do the Brady thing. Like, hey, we'll change your base down to this. We'll push back
Yeah,
your
but what they might do is, since they have cap room left for this year, they might we'll take the cap hit now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make the trade.
That's true.
And then his contract is so low that any team will take
like
it.
$4 million, $3 million or something. Yeah.
It almost makes him more valuable because we get a pretty quality receiver for really cheap.
Yeah.
It's like he'll never trade with the Jets, but the Jets would probably give up fuckloads for Amendola right now. You know what I mean?
Right. I think he would trade with the Jets.
He's the only team he's never traded with in the entire NFL.
Yeah. I think if he could fleece him, he would.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, is Amendola going to burn you down the road?
Probably not, but I think he just does it out of principle almost.
Right, yeah.
I was going to say the two teams that like pop into my head when I think of like a landing spot for Amendola, Philly and Tennessee.
Yeah, but Philly just reloaded their entire wide receiving core.
I know, but they don't have that. Like, he would
Tennessee too.
That's what I'm saying, but you could bring him in as that
real cheap, reliable guy.
Slot guy.
I could see him going back to the Rams.
Going back to the Rams would be good. Back to the Rams would be
maybe.
good. I like
they
Philly.
already have Austin in that position.
Tavon Austin is.
He never stays healthy.
They are, yeah.
But he's the same thing.
Cooper Kupp. They just drafted that kid, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like an Amendola.
Is that the coolest name that we've said this week, at least?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've said Cooper Kupp a lot recently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like that. Cooper Kupp. Sounds like a chupacabra. You know, just like a chupacabra.
Okay. So who's your second string on the defensive linebackers? Who's your second string on the linebackers? Because you're not going to start Harris. He's too old.
I think he does start
in this preseason game.
Oh, in the preseason? No.
That's what I'm talking about.
He'll be the starting linebacker.
You know, him and Hightower are the starting middle linebackers.
Right. I'm sorry. I thought you meant for the season.
No.
So for tomorrow, it would be Freeney.
Yep. Oh, definitely Jonathan Freeney. Yeah.
Jonathan Freeney for sure. Landon Roberts.
Probably Landon Roberts. Yeah.
I think you might get some Shea McClellan because I think he's on the bubble.
Yeah.
Him and
well, I think those are your three right there.
Lavoy or Landvoy or
Van Noy.
I don't know why I keep saying his name.
I think Van Noy is a starter.
Yeah, I think
he's your third.
He could be your
third linebacker.
He could be.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a lot of those three that you talked about. Shane
I still love
definitely Jonathan Sweeney.
Yeah,
because he's the Freeney.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's the lowest.
Yeah.
And then Landon Roberts is still.
Which is too bad. I like Freeney.
I think Freeney's going to be the guy. Him and Roberts are the two that might get cut.
I don't know about Landon Roberts getting cut just because he's young. And
I think Shea McClellan's on the bubble. I think Shea McClellan's.
I think they would rather keep Landon Roberts then, because I think complete top ceiling for Landon Roberts is
higher than McClellan's.
Well, it's like a Jamie Collins-esque linebacker.
I think they thought that when they traded Collins away, it was like, okay, Landon Roberts is taking his job. You know what I mean? That's going to be the guy. And they kind of threw him into it.
He is athletic. Super athletic, like Jamie Collins. Obviously, he's raw. He makes a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, and then Van Noy came in and took the fucking green dot.
Right. And then, what happened was...
That's why I don't think he's getting cut.
No, Van Noy's not getting cut. I don't think so.
I don't think he keeps the green dot. I mean,
no, it's going to be Hightower. Hightower or Harris.
Hightower was out, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That he really took over that one.
Hightower is going to be the leader. I know Harris is the veteran, but he just... On this team,
right.
It's Hightower.
Are you guys ever get weird about how guys pick numbers and pick weird numbers for their jerseys and stuff?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Harris is wearing 45.
That's awesome. For a linebacker?
I don't understand why.
I don't know. I like when people wear weird... I like
unorthodox numbers.
I thought it was really cool when they started letting wide receivers wear 12.
Yeah, and they weren't in the 80s anymore.
Yeah.
I
like in college when there's the stud middle linebacker on a team wears number 1.
Yeah.
3. I think that's weird.
Whenever
45 is a weird one.
It's just a weird because of the pros. They're very
that's like
few,
a fullback to me.
Very few linebackers wear 90s. Never mind getting out of the 50s.
Right.
I think when Madden first started the my player thing, where you would remember the old Madden where you could actually run the 40-yard dash and
You do the triggers.
It was the first year they had the my player mode.
Yep.
I made Carl Davies, who was a wide receiver for the Rams.
Yeah.
And I think I made him wear 14.
There you go.
And he wore his entire
He's a wide
career.
receiver?
Yeah.
For the Rams? Yeah, 14's cool.
He wore 14.
That's
and
cool.
he was I just always ran a streak, and he caught
just burned it.
He caught 18 touchdowns. He caught for 3,000 yards and 18 touchdowns, and
there you go.
He was the only receiver on the team.
Pretty much. I just called for the ball, ran right by the corner.
Just went nuts.
Yeah,
I dig it.
He played all 12 years with the Rams and then retired.
That's tough. Yeah. So what do they do tomorrow?
Yeah, because you're starting front seven's the real question of your defense,
right, for the year. Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have two linebackers, Hightower and Harris.
You're not going to see Coney Ely, I don't think. Maybe
I think you might see him
early.
First set of downs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he might play a series or two. Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to see a ton of him. You're going to see a lot of the young guys on.
Yeah, you have to because you have to see what you got.
Those guys, yeah.
I think Ely, kind of what you got, especially if you're doing, squad practices with Jacksonville.
Like Malcolm Brown,
what he's got. Right. You know what he's got. Yeah, Malcolm Brown.
Is he ever going to turn the corner?
Malcolm Brown? I just like him. I don't know.
No, I like him too.
I think he's good. I just don't think he's ever going to be a stat dude. He's not going to. Yeah. He does the stuff that you don't get credit for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like him. I like him as a player, but I just felt like he's like that. I remember very, very clearly that draft when the Colts were up and they needed run stopping help real bad. And they went with another wide receiver, and I can't think of his name now, but it was a rookie wide receiver from 2-3 years ago.
Is it Lockett or?
Might have been Lockett. Might have been.
Or is that's Ricardo Lockett? They have a guy named Lockett, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Tyler Lockett?
Maybe. That might be right. And then the Patriots, I think they traded up to get the Packers pick to take Brown because they were they thought there was no chance in hell that Brown was going to get past the Colts because the one thing that they do need is run stopping help because the Patriots gash them all the fucking time.
That was when
and the Patriots were like, oh, you don't want him? Yeah, hey Packers, what do you need? We'll take him.
That was when what's his name was the GM there still.
Yeah,
and the Colts. He's awful.
He's so bad.
He's gone now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I want to say they either traded up or they just happened to have a pick or two after or whatever. But that was so. I remember watching that happen. I'm like, what is wrong with the Colts?
I think Malcolm Brown was the pick where Ray Lewis raved about what the Pats did. Mm-hmm. I think it was him. Who did he play for? Texas?
I feel like yes. Yeah, no, I feel strongly.
It might have been them.
Him. He went to Texas.
It could have been Dominic Easley actually.
Dominic Easley was the one who had two torn ACLs.
But he played for Florida.
Yeah,
and I think that was the one.
He was the 32nd.
That might have been the one where Ray Lewis was they just got the best defensive lineman in the draft this year at 32. This kid single-handedly beat Ohio State or whatever by himself, and Ray Lewis just sucked the Patriots' dick for 30 seconds, and it was glorious because he never does.
He never does, unless you're just doing Tom Brady's number one top 100.
Oh yeah,
which is. But I remember thinking this kid. Okay, Vince was on his way out. I'm like, okay, here we go. This makes sense. This makes all the sense in the world. The Colts are idiots. The Patriots are great at what they do. You know what I mean? But it just has felt underwhelming.
He's been good. He's just young still.
Yeah, but what you said, that he does the little things that you don't get stats for.
Yeah.
I feel like Vince was that.
Yeah.
He's still, and that's the other thing is the big talk, is he going to be a Hall of Famer? That's another conversation.
It's really hard for nose guards to get into the Hall of Fame.
For
this reason, exactly.
Yeah, because he doesn't put up a lot of stats. But I'm sorry, he made the plays that people still talk about. Yes, we talk about that,
Vince,
the tipped up, tipped up catch, and then him running with the ball. Yeah, he did, or he has 2 career interceptions and stuff like that.
The butt fumble.
But I think you can still have lasting impressions and not put up stats.
Yeah, but Vince evolved into that guy. You know what I mean? He didn't just come on the scene and was
yeah, because his rookie year he had Ted Washington still on the team.
I think Malcolm Brown is still evolving into.
This is only his third season. Yeah, he's only had 2 years.
Yeah, he's still young, so it's not and I'm not saying I think he's going to be Vince Wilfork, but I'm saying I think he can be a really good nose guard, and a really good nose guard doesn't get a ton of recognition.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other problem is the league doesn't have he's the only nose guard.
Yeah, there was
when Vince was the man.
Well, he even Malcolm Brown won't play nose guard specifically.
No, I'm just saying
they'll move him, but
my point is
he's
like,
either going to be a defensive tackle or a nose guard, depending on the front.
Yeah, but that's the point. Is the way the league is right now.
Yeah.
Name how many other nose guards are in the league.
Yeah, not a lot of teams run a 3-4.
When Vince was the nose guard,
right?
He was.
There were 3-4 other nose guards in the NFL that everybody was like, Vince is 1A, 1B.
But they'd rotate Haloti Nada between if they ran the 3-4, he'd play the nose or he'd move out.
Yeah, or what's his name too? Who's the kid Casey from that played for Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Yep.
He was another top 3
Yeah.
nose tackle. The kid from
Rajai Davis was supposed to, or BJ Raji was.
BJ Raji was supposed to be that when you
Star
brought him in.
Latulier or whatever.
Mm-hmm. To correct myself from earlier, the Patriots did not have to trade up. They just let them fall to him.
Yeah.
Because the Colts drafted 29th. They drafted Phil Dorsett.
Dorsett.
That's the guy. Yeah,
Philip Dorsett.
And then Green Bay picked Demarius Randall. New Orleans Saints drafted
Tyler
Stephon Anthony. And then Patriots drafted Malcolm Brown. But you know what hurts? Landon Collins went the pick after. And I like Landon Collins a lot.
Oh, yeah. You always look back on
drafts.
Right, no, I know. Go look at the one where the Raiders took
Sebastian Janikowski first.
No. Go back and look at the draft where the Raiders took Jamarcus Russell
with
the first pick, and go look at the people who went after Jamarcus Russell.
Oh,
it's like Calvin Johnson, Luke Kuechly. It's like all these fucking studs. Not Luke Kuechly. I don't think he was in the same draft class. But like Calvin Johnson.
5 years later.
Yeah, Calvin. It's like all of these studs. There is a stud linebacker in there. I just can't think of who it was.
Yeah. That's was that the Clay Matthews?
It might have been.
Because I know that we also didn't select Clay Matthews.
We passed on Clay.
Yeah.
There is, I can't remember who it is. I know Calvin Johnson is one of them.
Yeah.
Even though Belichick coached his dad.
Right. Yeah. So, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, it's we'd have more to talk about if they've played a game.
Right.
All we have to talk about is their combined practices.
Like I
said, have looked really good.
Their third string corner, he's like a rookie last year or something like that.
Jonathan Jones,
I think.
Yeah, Jonathan
he's
Jones.
lightening up. He is playing in between Butler and
he's the slot guy.
From
what I've heard, he's the lead candidate.
Playing out of his mind. What number does he wear?
Is he 31?
Yeah, because he keeps all the clips that I keep seeing of like somebody stuffing their wide receivers. It's him.
Yeah,
I know. Like I said before we started recording, they were talking about a Jacksonville beat writer was like writing down play-by-play for the joint practices.
Yeah,
and he went, "This is the series I just watched: Fournette run, sack,
that's him,
sack, Malcolm Butler pass breakup, Stephon Gilmore pass breakup, incompletion, and then like fumble." That was the Jaguars series against the Pats that this guy was talking about. So
that
like
is unreal.
Did you also the defense up to a hot start?
Not to interrupt you, but I forgot. I wanted to squeeze this in too. Blake Bortles said that after flying up here, we're having a tough time trying to figure out what time zone we're in.
He's in the same time zone.
We're in the same time zone, so
I think he means like Florida's just so
far away. Yeah,
ocean. And
I'm a big Blake Bortles guy.
That's a weird thing to say. Yeah. Like that's a really weird. To either say, "Hey, we're just tired," like we're exhausted from our trip, or like we just can't get comfortable here on the road. Whatever. Like just say those two sentences.
No, I think he honestly thought he was in a different time zone. Yeah, I don't think he.
Where did he go to college?
UCF.
Did he?
Yes.
So he never left the state.
He's a Florida kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it'd be one thing if you went from like Missouri to Florida.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Always from Florida.
But he's been in Florida his whole life.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
That's tough.
By saying I was a big Blake Bortles guy, I don't mean I like him as an actual player. Like I think he's bad. Mm-hmm. I just think he's funny. I hear him on Part of My Take a lot. He's on that show a ton.
Yeah.
Then he's not that bad on fantasy either.
Right. He winds up getting you some points.
Yeah.
He was like I think top 12 in our league.
He was a top 12 quarterback last year.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
All garbage time.
Yeah. He's like how Kyle Orton used to be a good fantasy
I don't
quarterback.
think he will be a top 12 quarterback this year, but
Yeah.
You know who might be, though? This is relevant news because it's in our division. Jay Cuddy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's good for the Red
Smoking Jay Cuddy. Getting signed.
What'd you think of Joe's post on the page where it was like, "Hey, do you guys got a cigarette?"
Yeah.
And he's like, no, he's like, "Well, fuck off," or whatever. But they imposed Jay Cutler's face on it. That was pretty funny. I think he helps the Dolphins a little bit, I think he hurts the Dolphins just as much. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a complete wash.
If you listened, I think for actual football season. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he actually makes them any better or worse. Right. If anything, he might make them worse.
I think he's got a better arm. When it comes to
he's going to take more chances
really well.
Yeah,
but he is going to fucking gunslinger it. And that sweet fucking.
Have you heard his
Vanderbilt mindset?
Have you heard
he's just superior than everybody?
Have you heard the quote of all quotes? Where they ask him about how in shape he's been. Yeah. He's like, luckily I play quarterback, so I don't really need to be in great cardiovascular. That's like the perfect Jay Cutler. Like, I've been doing nothing but smoking cigarettes and taking naked pictures.
Oh, God. Yeah, I think he'll open it up in Miami, which will win them some games that they probably wouldn't have won.
Fantasy-wise, he actually makes the Miami Dolphins, their skill position people, more valuable.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But I don't know if he actually helps them win more football games.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't.
Right. I don't think he does.
He doesn't.
I think he could lose them games.
I think that there's a couple games that he'll win that Tannehill couldn't have.
Yeah.
By just opening it up a few nights. But then I think there's 4 games that he's going to throw picks like crazy and then lose them. God damn it. You know what I mean? So I think he's kind of like a wash, if not a little bit worse.
Do you think the Dolphins still stand a chance to make the playoffs in the AFC?
In the AFC, maybe. I think
they were a wild card last year.
They were a wild card last year. Did any other AFC team get that much better?
There's the AFC South.
Yeah,
which we just talked about, where if the Jaguars take a step,
or the Titans
who do you think's a better team right now, the Dolphins or the Jaguars?
Dolphins.
Who do you think's a better team right now, Dolphins or Texans?
Texans.
All right. Who do you think's a better team right now, Dolphins or Tennessee?
Tennessee
definitely is a better quarterback.
I just feel Tennessee, just for whatever reason, I have this feeling about them.
What receiver did they pick up this year?
Eric Decker, and they drafted Corey Davis with their top pick. And
I'll
they still
Tennessee.
have Rashard Matthews.
Matthews, yep. Tennessee.
Tennessee's
better, yeah.
So, they're real close to the bubble. You think Baltimore has a better year?
And they're running back.
Flacco's on the who knows right now.
If Flacco plays, do you think Baltimore or Miami?
The same. I think they're
Buffalo or Miami.
I think
Miami's better than Buffalo.
I think Baltimore's defense got better.
Yeah,
they got that kid from the Cardinals, Jefferson, the safety, to go next to Weddle.
Yeah, to me, like I said, Baltimore is so underwhelming. Remember we were doing the draft previews? I feel like no matter what they do, they're going to be the exact same team. They're going to win the amount of games. They could sign Denver. They could have signed Jay Cutler.
Denver, Miami.
They'll win the West.
Yeah, Denver
won't. Oh no, not with Oakland. You're right.
I think Denver's better team.
Denver's better.
All right, yeah. So they're probably, if you think the Texans and
Denver's better,
and the Titans are better in the South, and you think Oakland and Denver are better, and then they're out.
The odd man out.
Yeah,
I think they'll have a decent season. I think they'll be 8-8.
Yeah, I could see
Jeff Fisher season.
Yeah. I could see him winning 8-9 games.
We just passed. We just missed Jeff Fisher Day. It was yesterday.
Oh, God damn it! Yeah, that's right. Son of a bitch. Well, speaking of 8, right? 8. Famous number 8. The Red Sox are going for 8 straight. They've won 7 in a row, and they've won 8 of their last 10. So check that segue out.
Yeah. Well, that's because Pedroia's back,
Oh, Jesus. They've
the
won
Laser
6.
Show.
They won 6 of their 7 games and 7 of their 8 out of 10 games without Pedroia.
You know what?
And they've won 1 with him.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You know
so
what
he literally
we need?
Contributes nothing.
He's
not the reason why they win any game.
You know what we need? We need you to go find a drop of laser tag sounds or something like that. Yeah. So every time we talk about the Laser Show, we can play it
And it'd be like, can I go home?
Yeah.
Just after we're done.
Yes, that's a perfect Pedroia drop.
Yeah, can I go home?
Just we need a drop. We need a clip of him calling himself the Laser Show, Laser Show sounds, and then can I go home?
Can I go home?
Yeah.
Just like that.
No, but we need more lasers.
We need more lasers. So like, pew, 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 pew.
Can I go home?
Pew, 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 pew,
I
pew.
mean, it's
Laser show.
Sox are good. They're getting healthy.
Yep.
Pedroia's back. Hanley's back tonight.
Sale had one of his worst outings ever, and then followed it up with like
One of his best outings.
the
ever.
best outings ever.
And what the fuck do you do with Devers and Nunez?
well, Devers is your third baseman.
Okay, so then what do you do with Nunez?
He's your utility infielder.
Okay, so then what do you do with Brock Holt? Like it's right now, it's Christian Vasquez and Nunez's team and Devers. Like those are the three guys that are like
Yeah, playing good.
playing really
I
good.
think you just ride the hot hand and then sit whoever you need to.
But I mean, like, do you say Hanley?
Why not?
Sit whoever you need to.
Yeah, why
Dustin?
not?
So now,
you
now
don't.
Pedroia? I mean, I know he's been batting well this season.
Winning games is more important. So
Yeah, there you
obviously,
go.
if Pedroia is not the hot hand, then he's not
Right,
the
right.
hot hand. You know what I mean?
I just mean, and I know
Start
he's batting
giving
301,
breaks.
but if
Yeah.
he comes back and he's like 1 for 9, you know, what I mean,
Yeah,
do you say,
no,
hey, we're
you-
going to throw Nunez in here and see what
Manage.
happens? Right.
Fucking be a manager.
Yeah, that's impossible. You're
Yeah.
talking about John Farrell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
He doesn't like. I think what it is.
Manage your fucking roster.
I think that's the
You
problem.
dumb fuck.
Is a lot of these guys like you
Dumb
said.
feral fuck.
What's the guy from Detroit that retired?
I keep forgetting his name. The older guy. I know who you're talking about.
God, fuck you, Aaron.
Yeah, fuck it.
Jesus
For a guy that
Christ.
has so many notes, you fucking
Tim,
no.
Jim
Starts with an L.
Jim Leland.
Leland.
Jim
Yeah.
Leland.
Knew it
Yeah,
was
we
an
worked.
L.
We worked through. I'll cut all that out. I'll just be like, "Who's the guy that we're talking about?" Jim Leland.
But no,
Oh,
him.
Jim Leland, that guy.
I think a guy like him or like Buck Showalters.
Yeah.
those guys.
What a fucking manager name.
Good name.
Showalter. Yeah.
Buck Showalter.
Showalter.
I just think those guys are very good at like, listen, if you're not helping me win right now, you don't play. I don't care how much they're paying you. You still get paid to sit on the bench. Shut up, and I'm going to coach this
Just
team.
just manage your team.
Yeah,
Just
but I think
manage.
that's the problem is it's like we talked about how like Pedroia is not the leader. Most of these managers are fucking afraid to touch their $150 million player and tell them, oh, you can't play today.
Like that's why
Too
you can't ring
fucking
in.
bad.
That's why you can't ring in David Price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
So
I
fucking
would.
bad,
I'd
right.
fucking sit him down if he can't pitch.
Right.
If he throws a shit game,
He's
the
been
next
pitching
game,
pretty
I
well.
even just mean personality
No,
wise
I'm
too.
just
He can't
saying.
even confront him. Like he
I
wouldn't even
would.
deal with him. It's fucking crazy.
Price has been pitching pretty well.
Price has been pitching well. He's been
We
good.
just need Porcillo, man. We just need to.
Now also his numbers are a little deceiving.
Yeah.
He also I think has the worst run support on the team.
Not only that, this is what happened to Porcillo last year. Because if you compare his numbers from last year to this year, they're really not that crazy different.
Right.
The thing is, he was just getting really
He
good
led-
run
I think
support.
he led the league in run support
Yeah.
last year, and right now I think he's getting like 1.5 runs
So he
per
just
game or
can't
something.
win.
Yeah, it's
it's
fucking awful.
really bad.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I think Porcello's a
Yeah.
good, not great pitcher. You know what I mean? Like, probably didn't deserve the Cy Young, but with 21 wins,
Yeah.
is that what he had? You know what I mean? Like that'll do it. You know, that'll get you.
He pitches on the day that everybody decides to take a day off.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he
Right.
goes
Well,
out
we
there,
just-
he
well,
doesn't
we're gonna
throw a
need him.
horrible game.
We're going to need him to pitch well in
That
the
game
playoffs
three.
where
But-
people don't take days
Well, I
off.
was going to say, that's the point. In the playoffs, that might be where everybody's like, fucking guy's 3-0. He's pitching. His ERA is 2.6.
Right.
What the shit? And it's like, yeah, because he never got run support. Now the games count. Now
Yeah.
everybody decides to play.
Everyone's going
You know,
apeshit.
Hanley takes the shot in the knee instead of taking the day off and just, he's going to DH and go 0 for 4 and strike out 3 times.
Yeah.
So we need. That's what I want to know about the Red Sox is, do you trust them? Like, they're playing good.
Playing well.
They're in first.
I trust the
I gotta see
pitching.
him play.
But
minus David Price.
But you need David
I
Price
know,
for this to
but
matter, because
If I
all
can
this
quote-
all this regular season shit right now doesn't mean shit
If I can
they
quote
can't play in the
Joe
playoffs.
when we talked about the Celtics, is I got to see him win a series.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at. Like, it's the same thing for me. Like, got to win one.
I gotta see David Price pitch in the playoffs.
I need Chris Sale, who
Yeah.
has a no win in the playoff record.
Neither does Price.
Neither does Price, and neither does
The
Porcello.
thing is
the
with
guy.
Price though is he has a lot more attempts at the playoffs
yeah,
than
yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Sale.
I think Sale can sail right into the playoffs.
I think he'll be.
I think
yeah.
Price
Does
is the
Sale
one that
have any
has to
attempts?
prove
Does
it.
he have like a one?
I think he's. I
0-1?
think he's.
Or
0-1
0-0?
with 2 appearances. I think.
All right, so you got a no contest.
Right. No contact. Yeah. He had like a blow, and I think it was like a blown game.
All right.
Like, you know what I mean? So like he was probably up. You know, whatever. I don't know this for a fact, but up 2-1, someone else blows it. You know what I mean? that's not his fault, but he doesn't get the W. And Porcello doesn't have a win either. So your 3-man rotation has never won a playoff game. Like, that's intense. And there's a lot of money there for guys that have never won a playoff game before. It's fucking insane. But Chris Sale is the man, and they're cruising. So
keep cruising.
Keep cruising. Let the cruisers cruise.
But yeah, I'm with you. I had my old take on the Celtics. I need to see them win.
Right. And also, I want to get.
I think I still have that take on the Celtics. Like, I
still need to see them win.
Even when they add pieces, even when the Cavaliers get worse, it's like I need to see it.
I don't think, like, I wouldn't say, they're going to win the championship this year, but I think last year proved a lot to me.
Well, yeah, because they actually
Eastern
won
Conference Finals bound.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, they should be in the Eastern.
They
Conference
won
Finals.
multiple, like, actually tough rounds of.
Right. The Wizards series was tough, and going down 0-2 against the Bulls and pulling that one out, regardless of the Rondo injury, you still got to win 4 games. So, you know, I mean, they did their thing there. And I still think, like, the Rondo injury had a lot to do with that series, but I think that there was a little bit more than we gave credit for was the fact that the teammates didn't know how to interact with Isaiah, and they were very out of sync. You know what I mean? There was no camaraderie there at all. Speaking of the Celtics real quick, before we go into a social media second, or even before that, I want to get you watch The Office?
Yeah, I put it on when I go to bed.
You ever see the episode when Steve Carell's talking to the bartender that tried to kick him out of the bar, and he's like, "I'm writing a book called How I Manage"?
No, I haven't.
I want to get that sentence and be like, "Hey, John Farrell, I'm writing a book called How I Manage," because it just feels like it applies there. But for the Celtics, Aaron included me in that Jaylen Brown said that they're trying to come up with a new nickname.
Yeah, since they changed he changed his number.
007.
Yeah, well,
it's out there. It's out there.
But isn't he wearing a 1-0?
No, he's wearing 1-0.
Yeah,
he's wearing 1-0.
So
right,
double.
but you
so
can make
just
Jaylen Brown 07.
He's not going to. They're not going to do. They're not going to do.
You keep saying that. It's happened 3 times in NBA history.
No, I understand that.
Where they changed from a single number to
there have
adding
been
the
3
zero.
single digits worn with
A 0 in front of it.
01. It was 03, 06, and 09 were the 3 numbers worn.
And what year were those done in?
Happened.
What years were those done in?
I don't have that information.
Like pre-1950?
Whatever. Okay. Whatever. It's done.
It's a throwback.
Yeah,
They can do it.
No,
For
they
the
can.
sake of a nickname, they should.
But they did talk about how their plans for making a new nickname. They're working on.
They're working on it.
No, you fucked up. You lost all your endorsement deals, everything.
I'm woke on the Cumberland Farms. I'm super woke on the Cumberland Farms going, hey, cut the 7-Eleven.
Cut the shit.
Cut the shit.
I don't know if they are a sponsor or not.
No, I'm super woke on that.
But I feel like they might be.
They are a sponsor of a lot of Boston sports.
Like Comcast Sportsnet, all that stuff.
I'm super. If they're a sponsor of Comcast Sportsnet, who is the
Celtics are
the Celtics
right,
like
so their sister company, or their bridge company.
I am super woke on Cumberland Farms saying, hey, you can't make your nickname 7-Eleven.
Right, and also
Cumberland Farms over 7-Eleven.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
right.
I think they should make their nickname Cumberland Farms. Like, I think they should go like Cumbies.
Just become like Jalen Cumbies.
No, it's the Cumbies. Look at them.
Yeah, they're the and also Jason Tatum wore number 0 in college, and once Avery Bradley was traded,
he wanted back.
He wanted 0. So,
Nope. It's the 7-Eleven. It's the Cumberland Farms.
I still hate it. Yeah.
Stay woke, people.
Stay woke. 07 Cumbies. They're open 24/07.
Yeah.
That's their thing.
Can I get 42 on pump?
42 on pump 5, please.
Yes. Stay woke. The Cumbies conspiracy theory.
All right, so that's
it doesn't show.
It doesn't show
either Cumberland or 7-Eleven.
$1 any size coffee.
Yeah,
I feel like it's just. I feel like it's just they don't have a deal set up, and the team was like, guys.
I feel like
you're hedging our bets. You're making us lose money.
I feel like Jason Tatum wanted his number back.
They stole.
Yeah, which is stupid.
No,
stupid.
It's the Cumbies thing. They stole the whole idea from the last NBA 2K game anyway.
Yeah. Right.
Where they're just like, oh, we're gonna give ourselves a nickname.
Right.
You know what I mean? Orange juice. You know.
He was 0 his whole life. Avery Bradley had it. He wore 11. Avery Bradley's gone.
I think he should call up Gilbert Arenas and ask for the Agent 0 nickname.
Right.
And then take that back. And then they'll be 007.
And then they could be Agent 007.
Yeah. He can be Agent Zero, and
That'd be
All
really
I have to
good.
do is pay off some of Arenas' gambling debts. You should be all
you
set.
should be good to go. That's not a problem at all. All right, so our Facebook group where we do most of our polling has grown rapidly.
yes, welcome,
Yeah, welcome to the listeners,
welcome, randos.
randos, and good friends.
Oh yes,
New England fans. What's up?
Boston sports fans, welcome.
We dig it. So
Listen to the show.
listen to the show.
Don't- We're not just a Facebook page.
Right. Check out the podcast.
I know you're probably getting annoyed with all of the podcast things we post on our podcast
Yes, like,
page,
yeah.
but listen,
Let the record state it is a podcast
yeah,
page.
listen to the show.
But a lot of people are active.
Yeah, I
Posting
like it. I'm digging
posting
it.
Comments, they're voting, go out, vote or die.
we need to come up with a name for our
I'm gonna
listeners.
kill everyone that does. Yeah, we do. Like B.S.N's Nation or something like that.
Yeah,
Right.
Well,
But we
the
call it something
nerds.
cooler. Yeah,
the nerds would be
the nerds. Yeah,
the default, but that's
right.
I don't want to go with the
it
default.
sounds condescending.
The
and-
Cumbies? No.
Cumbies. We call them Cumbies. We just call them like, "What's up, gas stations?"
Yeah.
But I will say we put up 2 polls this week. One was an argument I was having with a friend, and the other one I was really interested in. And me and you, we've had this discussion too. What wide receiver is going to perform the best for the Patriots this year? It's tough to gauge what best means, like most touchdowns or most catches or a mix of the two, or Chris Hogan leading the NFL or second in the NFL.
But
in
I
average.
think by any way you measure it, I think Joe's opinion won by a landslide.
a lot.
See, I also believe that if you're basing it purely on the guy that's going to get the ball the most times, then your argument about Hogan is like null and void.
Yeah, I think it's Hogan's
Hogan's,
the guy
like-
who gets the ball the most times and has the most yards and scores.
But
the most
Yeah,
But
but
would
he
you
doesn't
be
score the
surprised-
most touchdowns ever.
But would you be surprised
That's
if
why
Hogan,
it's not Hogan. That's
would
why
you be
it's Edelman.
That's what I'm
surprised
saying.
if Hogan had more touchdowns and a better average than Edelman this year?
Yards per catch.
Yeah.
Oh, he's always going to have a better
But yeah,
average.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. But what if he had like more touchdowns too?
Like and not just like
Edelman-
three
Edelman-
Like
more.
he had 7, Edelman has 6.
Edelman, I think he had more than Edelman last year. Edelman only had 3 touchdowns.
He did. Right. He did. Yeah.
So I mean, I would expect Edelman to regress to the norm. Like
Right.
I think he averages like 6 or
6.
7 touchdowns
Yeah,
a
he's around
season.
6. Yeah. Yeah.
I would expect him to go back to the norm as opposed to stay at 3 again. But
Now, who's going to have? Here's an interesting one. Before we announce the winner, just quick like side bet here.
yeah,
Which receiver has more touchdowns?
I think it,
Receiver?
does Gronk count?
No Gronk.
All right. Yeah, I think
I was gonna say
I think
receiver.
I think it might be. I don't know because I don't know if they're going to use Cooks in the red zone like that.
Right. But he has 30-yard out potential.
Like I think,
A
yeah,
lot.
that's
You know
what I
I'm
mean.
saying?
Like,
Right.
how many home run touchdowns do you think Cooks can score as opposed to how many? Because I think he's a little less useful in like those tight red zone situations where he doesn't have a lot of field to
Right.
work. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Like, I don't
It's
think
like
he's
Wes Welker-ish.
He's not
Like,
going
you
to
know what I
catch
mean?
like a lot of back shoulder fades or
Right,
anything like
right.
that.
Yeah.
He's not big.
He'll do like that Edelman in out cut.
What
you
if
know
it
what
was
I mean?
Malcolm Mitchell? Like,
Malcolm Mitchell could.
what if it was?
I mean, like,
what if they
legit
go
hands,
into the
bigger
goal
body?
line set and he just ends up with like 7 touchdowns?
That's
I
right. I
mean,
think Hogan's your tallest receiver.
I think it's
Yeah,
gonna.
what is he, 6'2"?
He's like 6'2".
I think
right.
it's gonna be Cooks, almost all on home runs, pretty much.
See, I think he'll get some red zone play like the way Edelman does, like the dagger
Yeah,
dagger
the
in cut
slants.
out.
I just
You
don't know
what
if
I mean?
he's gonna.
Slants,
I don't know if he's
Quick
gonna
slant.
run those as well as Edelman does because those
Yeah,
are like Edelman's bread and butter.
Such a sharp route runner. Yeah, right. That's
I
I think
it's,
his pull away speed though.
yeah, but I don't think it's as useful in the red zone where you don't have a lot of room.
But like you're saying, like the little quick in and then back out.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
think even if he does it half as good as Edelman does, the quick like the move, his pull away speed from that defender.
Plus, he's more likely to get jammed in the red zone, and I don't.
He is
He's
tiny,
not very
that's true.
good. He's not very good against the press. I think. I still think it will be Cooks though. I think it'll be Cooks mostly.
Does anyone hit double digits?
Oh, easily.
No, not a receiver.
Easily.
Not a receiver.
I think
Easily.
Gronk is going to be fucking touchdown.
I think that's why
touchdown machine.
you're going to have a double digit wide receiver this year.
Oh, that's why I think you won't. I think.
Okay, so
I
how
think you're
many-
going to have Gillislee's going to have a lot of rushing touchdowns. Gronk's going to have a lot of red zone touchdowns. That's almost all of your red zone production. I think Edelman will score a few in the red zone. because he tends to find little holes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not counting. I mean, James White will probably have some red zone touchdowns. That's almost all your red zone production. I think Cooks is going to have your home runs.
Yeah.
I think he'll lead receivers, but I expect 6 or 7 as the most touchdowns a wide receiver scores.
So what do you think? How many touchdowns does Brady throw this year? I had this conversation today as well.
43.
All right, I'm right around there. I said between 40 and 42. So, yeah, I'm right around there. How many do you got him for?
I don't think he's breaking his record.
No, I think he goes for 48.
48?
That's
so 3 a game?
Yeah, that's a real good season. How many? What do you think his ratio is? Under 10?
42 and 7, something like that.
Yeah.
42. Like that.
First number that popped in my head was 43 and 6. So
right. Yeah. That's yeah. I'm with you around there. He could do 48. A lot of people are saying this might be the best receiving core he's ever had.
43 and 6 is like, oh my god,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because remember when he went 36 and 4?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, that he won MVP that year.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone was like, sheesh, like a 9-to-1 ratio. That's crazy. And then he comes back for 12 games and does a 14-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
Whatever. But that's neither here nor there. He should have won the MVP last year. But, yeah, I think he's going to be around 40. My buddy John tried saying, this is the best team you guys have ever had.
Yeah, I remember that discussion.
And I was like, well, do you think he's going to throw for 50 touchdowns?
I don't know if statistically it will be the best team.
I think the issue that you're going to have is, as much as everybody's going to start focusing on that, like you're going to get that ground game going, that one back ground game with one tight end. It's really going to open that field up.
Here we go.
With 3 wide receivers, really going to open that field up.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have a lot of those red zone to Gronk.
Oh, Gronk's going to eat this year. As long as he stays healthy, they're eating.
And I also think Edelman.
I think Gronk plays 14 games this year.
I like that.
I don't know if they're all going to be. I mean, I'm hoping they're not. Like he
plays up to week 14
and then gets hurt.
Yeah.
But I think he'll play 14 regular season games this year.
I think
he might take 2 weeks off.
I think that's high.
I don't. He played 16 2 years ago.
I hope he can.
I hope he
can.
Year,
that's
2 years
that's
ago.
what I want him to do.
Yeah, you don't know. And coming off the back surgery, and the man's half metal now at this point. So, I mean, it's sort of like Terminator. Like, who knows?
The bionic elbow.
Yeah, right. That fucking thing has gotten bigger. Have you seen it?
I heard he was practicing without it.
Oh, was he?
At the
camp. See, the videos I saw, he had it on, but
I heard he was running through camp. I think it was before the Jaguars got there. So
that's probably why.
He was, but he never does. He always plays with it on.
Yeah,
he was running with it.
That thing is huge.
I think
his first padded practices, he didn't have it on.
But here's the thing. You're a defender playing for the New England Patriots.
You know not to touch
Do you light up Gronk?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
or if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar on the bubble trying to make the team, do you light up Gronk?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You light up Gronk.
Of course, yeah.
So he probably was a safety precaution, but I heard he was like not using it. He didn't have like that.
I think he's doing the Brady thing. You have to practice without it to see how it's going to feel.
Yeah.
Remember Brady didn't wear the knee brace he said you have to let it it has to have its own strength.
Yeah.
He's working with Brady's guy, so
yeah.
Telling you, it's all adding up.
I like it all.
So, who won the goddamn
So the results
vote?
were that Edelman had 21 votes, Cooks had 10, Hogan had 3. Edelman. I think it's just tough to define best.
Yeah, it depends. What's a better season? Do you think 90 receptions for 1,020 yards and 4 touchdowns is a better season than
50 for
868 receptions for 900 yards and 7 touchdowns? What's a better year?
Right. That's tough.
More receptions, more yards, but less touchdowns?
Right.
Right.
But you also have like a higher average with the second one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're more explosive, you're scoring more points.
Because I think one is
that's tough.
Edelman's probably going to have more catches and maybe probably more yards, but I don't think he'll have as many touchdowns as Cooks.
See, I think Gronk's going to be like somewhere around that weird 700 mark.
Yards?
Oh yeah.
I think
he's going to be
1,000.
I honestly think Gronk could have 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns.
I feel they have so many wide receiver options. I think that's where it's going to happen. I think you're going to end up with Edelman with at least 1,000 and 95 receptions. I think Cooks could go for 80 and
the thing is, it makes
he's going to go for 700
and close to 1,000.
They're gonna tie defenses into pretzels because you can't
They're gonna be so fun to watch.
You can't not double team Gronk. If you put one person on Gronk,
that's my point.
He's going to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're going to commit a linebacker and a safety to Gronk.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves one single high safety.
Mm-hmm. And who are you going to pay attention to more?
You have to put him on Cooks, because if Cooks roasts his dude,
okay.
which is
right, but very likely,
very likely, he's gone. It's a touchdown.
Yeah, but to your point, you always say that Edelman's is banky. Edelman's always going to be open.
But you're going to have to.
So that's what I'm saying.
You have to say,
if you bite on Edelman, Cooks is just gone.
Right.
Yeah, but I would.
All day,
if I'm a
every day.
defensive coordinator, I say we can't give up the big play. Don't bite on. We'll leave Edelman short.
Yeah, make him. Yeah, make
and
him.
I think Edelman's just going to make his hay on these 7-yard, 5-yard
But
receptions.
I think Edelman. I just don't want to see him get 112 receptions and be fucking like not able to play in the playoffs.
This is what I think is
probably likely.
That's my worry. That's my worry.
This is what I think is going to happen. This is the game script I think you're going to see early in the game. You're going to see a lot of Gillisley. You're going to see a lot of short Edelman. You're going to see a lot of dink, dink, dink down the field, touchdown,
homer.
down the field, touchdown, down the field, touchdown. And eventually teams are going to be like, we have to stop this.
Right.
Switch, home run.
Right.
All right, what the fuck was that?
Right.
Dink, 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 home run. Because there's only so many thousand cuts you can take.
Hogan's going to eat this year because of Cooks.
I just don't know if he's going to eat to the point where he's better than a guy that's constantly involved in the offense, where he might have
I'm not saying Hogan's going to have a better statistical year. I just think he's going to have a big year, like sleeper, sneaky good year.
I think he's going to be the guy that comes in and he gets like 6 touchdowns, and they're all going to be like 50-yard.
I think he could be fantasy relevant. It would be hard to predict when those games are, which makes it. I mean,
no, that's the point.
Yeah,
he's not.
Yeah.
He's fantasy relevant stat wise.
Best ball.
Oh yeah, best ball. He's probably a good pick late in drafts.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll take him best ball for sure. And also the other poll that we did was which running back gets cut if we're assuming that Brandon Bolden doesn't, because no one's been cut yet. But Jesus,
did we have this conversation?
We did.
Yeah,
and there was a tie between Burkhead and Deion Lewis.
Why Burkhead? You signed him to 2 years.
I don't think people know a lot about Rex Burkhead.
Right. I think
or his situation coming
he was like
onto
a
the team.
third string running back.
Yeah, but Lewis was injured coming out of college. Mm-hmm. He's been injured since you got him.
Right.
He's shown flashes.
He was injured in Baltimore. There's a reason why we wound up with him, because he's fucking.
And also, I don't think people know the situation behind Burkhead's signing and like how much he signed for, that kind of stuff,
and how well he's playing on special teams.
Where I don't think he's going to be like. I don't think Bill Belichick's just going to waste $3 million. I don't
think so either. I think they like him.
I think you might see Lewis get moved for like a 6th-round pick or a 5th-round pick. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to get as big of a return as people think.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, and then we'll just trade it for a 7th-round pick.
If he's going to be cut. You know what I mean? It's something.
Yeah, I'd rather
and like you said, Deion Lewis got taken out of the Super Bowl.
Right.
He got replaced.
Right.
So I mean, it's not like
for most of the postseason.
Yeah, like remember, if you go back to the Super Bowl first half, it was a lot of Blunt, and then Blunt got taken. They like switched to Lewis.
But James White was also the only one doing anything, even in the first half.
Yeah, but then they
had some production.
They tried to switch from Blunt to Lewis, like maybe this will work, and then just James White took over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's not like everyone remembers Lewis from like those first 8 weeks, 2 years ago. Or whatever.
2 years ago,
and they're 17-0 with them.
Yeah,
starting or in the lineup.
on the lineup
playing. Yeah.
But I don't know.
With him, so.
I would expect him to be the next logical cut if they cut down to 3.
It's definitely Bolden to start, right? Like
even that kind of shocks me because I know
with the way they say Burkhead's running on special teams. I think that's that guy. Then
I just think Bill likes Bolden a lot.
I think he does,
especially.
That's true.
And Bill values special team. I mean, he keeps Slater around as a wide receiver specifically for special teams.
Right, that's true.
He's also a team captain.
Yeah, and I don't. But I think Bolden has that same kind of respect in the locker room. Like Slater and Bolden are the guys on special teams. Like,
right? Yeah, they are
until he tests positive again.
Yeah, it's true.
Bolden tested positive.
Yeah.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Real quick, speaking on the Ninkovich retirement, did we do this last week where I said that I thought that he...
Yeah, you did.
I said conspiracy theory. Maybe he pissed hot again.
You gave me that idea, and
Yeah.
that's why I told someone else that. I was like, this is what I think. But yeah, that you coaxed me on that one.
I don't think that's why. But
No.
That's been our social media second. And
More than a second.
More than a second. And stay tuned. Like each week, like tune in.
Yeah, keep voting,
Keep
people.
voting. Be a part of the
yeah,
show.
I was really happy with the turnout on the Edelman poll.
We talked
and
about
all
a
that.
potential mailbag type situation.
Yeah.
We would do
Ruined my
like fan
dream.
questions at the
I
end
talked
of it.
about that on my fantasy field goal.
Right. So, maybe do like some fan questions, like pick 2 or 3 out of the emails. Then
I totally do that.
lucky listener gets their questions answered.
Yeah.
So get that going, and let's move on.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's a balk.
We could cut this out.
Okay.
If we do a mail time thing, can we totally rip the mail thing from Blue's Clues?
Blue's Clues, right?
Yeah, 100%.
We're not cutting that out.
All right.
we're definitely going to do
All
that.
right, yeah, all right,
That's
cool.
I figured that too. Yeah.
It's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail.
Mail. Yeah.
Actually, don't cut it out of Blue's Clues. Just take what we did right there. That'll be the drop.
That'll work. That's really good. What do you got for a BalkTalk?
My BalkTalk.
Aaron says, you guys singing Blues Clues mail.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the fact that you didn't let me say Aaron earlier.
Yeah.
That's it. Nice.
Well, then I'm done. I don't have to say anything.
All right, that was his BalkTalk.
Yeah, my
and
BalkTalk's over.
Joe, what do you got?
You guys know all my fucking arguments. No, my BalkTalk is I know we're a Boston team, but like watching other teams around the areas that their signings and stuff, and to see whether that's going to make our team better or the East better or the AFC East or whatever you want to call it, our division better. The New York Knicks signed Michael Beasley to a 1-year deal. Because you're in the process of trying to trade away your disgruntled third star on your team. Second. I mean, behind
Porzingis.
Porzingis.
Porzingod.
All right.
If you're going to say the man's name, say it correctly.
He could make a decent amount of money and go back to Russia and be a king. He doesn't need to make that
Is it
much
Russia
money.
or China?
Lithuania. Oh, are you talking about Latvia?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Porzingis?
Yes. We already had this discussion.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were talking about Beasley.
No.
Did Michael Beasley played in China?
In China,
right?
Yeah. Anyway, you guys missed the joke.
No, I get it. No,
I know.
Because we
It's a
always make the
callback.
joke. Yeah, it's a callback to my horrible joke.
But
Yes.
in his country,
In his country.
In his country, it's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money.
So anyway,
Dog, I have Twitter. That's the joke.
but no, I just think he's. Dude, last year he averaged 9.4 points and 3.4 rebounds for the Milwaukee Bucks last year.
Are you upset they signed Michael Beasley?
I think he's horrible.
I think you're not going to find another Carmelo Anthony.
No,
so-
but I think that's why. Like, if that's your replacement,
Well, you
because
gotta
that's kind of
you
the.
got to field the team.
I just think he's. I think he was a wasted second pick, and I think he's horrible now.
He's definitely never been what he was supposed to be, for sure.
Not going to argue with you about the merits of Michael Beasley because I don't like him either. Is he on the list?
No, I don't think. No, I just think I just think he tries way
a
too
bum.
hard to be like
Bad
this
basketball player.
badass baller, and he's not.
I don't like his shot in NBA 2K.
Me neither.
I'm off on him.
Oh, no, he has a bad shot.
I just don't think he's
Really
that good of
bad
a
shot.
player.
He's not a good player.
It's like Kevin Martin-esque.
I get the signing, just because you got to do something. You know what I mean? Like you gotta, you gotta do something.
Yeah,
If
totally.
you're trading Mello,
I mean, if you think about
Are
it,
they trading Melo? Like,
they're
They will.
they're still
They will.
trying
They
to do
will
it.
do
yeah, I feel like it's like the same song. Like, was it Dog and Pony Show?
Yeah.
Is that what the expression is?
I mean,
Like
they
every-
have what Porzingis. They have Noah,
Tim Hardaway Jr.,
Who wants Melo? I mean, Cleveland, I guess.
Houston,
Houston, and Cleveland.
Why?
because their friends are there.
All right.
That's the only reason why anybody wants him, because
Yeah,
they would
I
make
think
their
he'll go to
best
Houston
friends
before
happy.
he goes to Cleveland.
Good.
I think that Kyrie wanting to go to the Knicks makes that really interesting.
Well, possibly, yeah.
Right.
All right.
I
I
agree.
think that's a huge haul. If you're the Knicks and you manage to get Kyrie Irving back, because I don't know if Carmelo Anthony is worth.
No, right.
Not at all.
So I would if it's like, hey, we'll take Kyrie off your hands.
Right.
Then
Deal.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
real deal. Yeah.
the only thing is, I think at that point they might have to give up. They would be the team giving up more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
The
to
Knicks
be
would
honest,
Which they
what
probably
would you?
wouldn't like doing.
Whereas if
But
they
what would
trade
you be
with
giving-
Houston, I think it's Houston who's got to give up shit. You know what I mean? To the Knicks to get
Right.
Carmelo.
Right.
Yeah, a fucking bag of balls.
No, I think you could get. I mean, you're not going to get like established people, but
That's
you're going to
the
get
point.
some
You're not
young.
gonna-
They
maybe
traded
some-
a lot of their depth for Chris Paul, which
Yeah.
which
Once
probably
again,
wouldn't
that's
have
what
made
I'm
a
saying.
Carmelo
I
trade.
think they don't have a lot to give up.
What if they trade Chris Paul? What if they just flip Chris Paul?
Just,
That
you
would
can't
be-
even do that.
Can you
in the NBA,
imagine?
you know that?
That'd
You
be
oh yeah, you
amazing.
can't trade a
You can
person
trade
within.
for like 6 months or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
That's-
Maybe that's why he hasn't been traded yet. Stay woke.
Daddy woke. That's a shout out to Brian Barnier, who we saw at the live podcast of the Pass the F Popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
The guy with the real long frizzy hair.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
calls
yeah.
himself Daddy Woke. I like that. Stay woke.
Stay woke.
What do you got for a BalkTalk? Real quick to wrap that up. I'm not disagreeing with your BalkTalk.
I
It's
just
not
think
a good signing.
the East is
I
such
just feel like you
fucking
need to-
horrible, and then you go and sign him.
Right.
That's the
But I mean,
off-season
okay, so let me ask you
signing.
a question. Melo leaves. Who's out there?
You fucking wasted all this time dicking around with Melo. Trade him to the fucking team that wants him. Get something. You don't
Right.
need a lot back for him. He's hot garbage.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like you need to add, you need to continue to add because you're still losing Melo. So like, what do
Get
you?
back draft picks. Just do like Danny Ainge. You know this year you're not going to be fucking
Yeah,
Yeah, but they signed him to a
going for
1 year
the
deal.
East.
They signed him to a 1 year deal.
Who?
To
Beasley? Yeah. So he's
No,
He's
I
not, you know what I mean,
understand
like-
that.
like-
expiring
No, no.
contract.
Right.
Do what you do is
Which
you
they'll trade away at the end of the
you
season.
trade Melo for cash considerations. You take the cash considerations. You give
buy
them
out Beasley.
You give them to Elon Musk. Elon Musk designs a cloning machine.
Right.
You use it to clone Porzingis. He plays all 5 positions on the floor. Problem
Done
solved.
deal. Done deal.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 5 Porzingis.
5 Porzingis.
That's the plan.
Sounds-
You've had worse
Awful.
ideas.
New York Knicks, call me.
You've had worse ideas. I'll tell you that. And 5 Porzingises would be.
Maybe you want to
Insane.
Maybe you want to clone one with like a height defect, so he's smaller,
little
can handle
smaller.
the ball a little bit
Like
better.
so, like he just
but like the other 4, just leave them as they are.
just
like
mix his
1'6"
just
Porzingis.
No, just mix one genetically with like
Chris Paul.
Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. That's not bad. What do you got for a BalkTalk?
My BalkTalk was that idea. No. My BalkTalk is not the fact that the MLB is doing nickname jerseys. I've been all for a nickname jersey since He Hate Me.
Right. Yeah.
That's an XFL callback in case we have some really young listeners, I guess.
Ultra deep cut.
Yeah. My BalkTalk is just David Price's nickname jersey because it's Astros Dad, which is not a nickname.
Can you say that again?
Hold on.
Can you say that again?
And what's his son's name?
All right, so his nickname on the back of his jersey, like Pedroia's is Laser Show.
Bummer. Yeah.
I don't know what some of the other ones are. His is Astros Dad.
Astros dad.
Is
Is
this
that a
list?
real or a fake horse name? Astros dad.
Is this a list of?
There's some on the back too.
Here we go.
Is there any other
Aaron.
like Jose Batista's is Joey Bats?
Joey Bats,
That makes a lot
right.
of sense.
Yeah.
McCutcheon's is Kutch.
Yeah.
Like these sound like real. Francisco Lindor's is Mr. Smile. Brandon Phillips, that dude. Kyle Seager's is Corey's brother. So
That's pretty cool. That's funny.
Lance McCullers and Colin McHugh, Snapdragon 1 and Snapdragon 2.
Nice.
Herm the Worm? What the fuck? Robinson Cano is Don't You Know.
I think they call him
Carl
Robinson,
Edwards
don't you know,
Jr. is
Cal.
Carl's Jr. That's sponsored. He made money off that.
Yeah.
Araldus Chapman, the Missile. Andrew Trigg. See, these are Max Scherzer, Blue Eye. These are good ones.
Those are nicknames.
Yeah, actual nicknames.
Those are nicknames.
Except for maybe Corey's brother.
Corey's brother.
That might
which
be
is
up.
almost the equivalent to Astros dad.
But
Sean Doolittle's is Do, like multiple O's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
All right. So his name is Astros dad.
David Price's is Astros Dad.
Is that a real or fake horse name?
He actually has it's a real horse name. He actually has a son
Yeah.
whose name is Xavier. It's not Astro.
Not Astro.
Who is Astro?
Astro is his dog. So his nickname is Dog Dad, pretty much.
Dog Dad. Yeah.
My girlfriend has a bumper sticker that says Dog Mom. So David Price is a bumper sticker.
So if I can kind of
So he's gonna put that. He's gonna put that sticker on the back of that fucking tank that he drives.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's gonna say Dog Dad.
If I can Kirk Minahan that moment right there, you're saying that you're more proud to be the father of your dog
Than
than
your
you
son.
are than you are proud to be
Doesn't
the father
say
of your son.
Xavier's dad.
Right.
Says Astro's dad.
Wow.
If you're trying to tell me that the guys in the clubhouse walk around calling you Astros, yo, what up, Astros dad?
Yeah.
Hey, you going out tonight, huh? Can you pick me up in that big ass tank you got? Yo, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm hanging out with Astros dad. I don't think I can hang out tonight. No, they probably call you like Pricey.
Right. DP.
Yeah,
Totally.
I can see why I stayed away from
I'm
that.
gonna stay
one.
away from that. Yeah. All right.
I think.
I mean, it makes sense.
What would have been
I have
better?
a friend that we call DP, but not for the reasons you think. It's because his name is Des Prince, so we call him DP.
Yeah. Okay.
Is if he put
He's a really nice guy.
Who's the-
and he'd be a shit.
Why am I
to you.
blanking? Why am I blanking on the guy you just got into a fight with?
Eckersley. Then a second.
If he put X Dad
That would have been
on the
ballsy.
back of his jersey,
Then I would have been like, David Price is that guy. I would have been like, David Price is that guy. That would have been awesome.
Do you
that would
feel
have been,
that
that
like,
would have been the Robert Kraft equivalent of the AFC champion? That would have been. I'm putting my dick on the table, dog.
But do you
way out.
feel Eckersley would like just
Petition
like,
against it?
No, not even like just go down there and like rip it off of him.
Maybe.
Like just pull a fucking Chris Sale and cut
Start
it up
cutting the
before
jerseys
cut
up?
the jersey before he goes out there. Like he
If
goes
Chris
to get
Sales
his.
isn't scissors, I'm pissed. His needs to be scissors.
Yeah,
That'd
it
be
should
great.
Scissors. That would be good.
I don't think it's
my
on
God.
here.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
that'd be-
Astro's dad. God, what a fucking
It's
Tommy Two Towel. That's a name.
That's a name. That's a name.
Bauer outage. That's a fucking
I dig
good.
it.
That sounds
I
like a
that
fantasy
one.
football
I
team
like
name.
that. Yeah. You could also went with like Bowers or.
That's what if I was gonna do that, I would have Googled MLB fantasy baseball like team names.
right?
Find you on the
Right.
list. And been like, all right,
The Price
there's
is Right. or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
Price is Right. Yeah, there's my nickname.
Right.
Or
Then
like,
you know some guys like, oh, that's my team name.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Or like in the NBA, like it made sense when Miami did the team names.
Mm-hmm.
They had the different names on the back of the jerseys, and as much as we like to rag on them, Ray Allen went with Shuttlesworth.
Right,
Like it
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah.
And like King James and
I mean,
and
if that
Flash
comes-
and all that, like all
if
those-
it comes
I mean,
out-
a lot of the NBA did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, but the Heat, I think, were on the first night where they endorsed it or whatever. But yeah, Flash, King
But the
James,
whole league's doing
They
this.
just
Right,
do
right.
it so that they can sell a jersey.
Right,
that
it's
says,
an extra jersey to
but
sell,
who
right.
wants to buy fucking Astros dad?
Astros dad.
That literally,
Who wants to buy a Price jersey?
Right, but even worse,
I want to buy
then
Bauer
Price-
outage.
if
That
Price-
sounds awesome.
if Price wins a championship this year, you know he's really
He's-
good.
and he's still a shithead to the media and
Listen,
to the fans.
Right, but
Price-
there's enough Red Sox fans that root for the laundry that'll say, "Give me
Price
that Price
needs.
shirt."
sure.
You know
Price
what I mean?
needs. I don't imagine Price's jersey sells very well in fucking Boston right now.
Right, of course.
Lance McCullers and Colin McHugh with Snapdragon 1 and Snapdragon 2.
Yep.
How many people are going to go in with their best friend and go,
Yeah. Hey, me and
Hey,
yeah,
me
right,
and you?
me
Oh,
and you,
I
me and
Snapdragon
you,
1, you're Snapdragon 2?
Yeah.
Who else would buy a Lance McCullers jersey? He just sold a bunch of fucking jerseys
Right.
I mean,
just
to
by
be-
the
By
nickname.
the name,
Like-
it's true.
what was it? Bogarts.
Right.
He should go with Professor X.
Right.
That's a great one.
That's
I,
a-
have,
that would
I
be
already have a
really-
Bogarts jersey, but I would buy a Professor
That's what I'm
X.
saying.
a-
Like
that's a good
or
one.
bets, like place your bets.
Right. Right. Yeah. All bets are off.
Yeah, there you go.
go.
Even
So,
better.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
better.
yeah. There you go. Nice.
I'm going to get a laser show jersey to hang in here.
Oh, that's cool.
I'd frame
Like
it.
right
if
here.
you buy it, I'll frame
Right
it.
here in front
I'll
of
frame
Dave
it.
all the
I
time.
might accidentally throw my mic at it.
If
But
we ever have like video,
Don't worry, I'll
if we
get
ever
both-
get video of us recording, just the laser show jersey right in the background all the time.
I'll get bulletproof glass on it.
Yes.
you're gonna need
I'm gonna get a Glenn Baby Davis,
Oh
a
my
laser
God.
show, John Farrell signed
That would
jersey.
be, if you guys did that like as a prank birthday gift every year, like just got me like my worst enemy's jersey.
I see what you're trying to do. A boondoggle here, so you
trying to
get
get
free fucking signed jerseys.
You're on to me. That was a good catch. The little bait.
Yeah, and then he'd resell them on eBay.
Yeah, right.
Don't let them fool you.
Stay woke. Stay woke, Aaron.
Hey, BS Nerds fans, guess what? We're doing a jersey giveaway. We have a Glenn Davis. Most insulting.
We go into Dave's house, and instead of where toilet paper was, it's just a Davis jersey wrapped around the thing. Just like, please reuse.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to wash it tomorrow, guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll
just
wash it
use
just to shit on it again tomorrow. That'll be it. All right, so my BalkTalk is Stephen A. Smith versus Kirk Minahan today on the radio. Stephen A. says that Tom Brady has a responsibility to report his concussions, and it's immature of him to say that it is not anyone's business. It's not anyone's business.
I don't think Tom Brady. That would be like the equivalent of perjuring, like perjury, committing perjury,
Committing perjury against
perjure
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah, right. To purge yourself.
Yeah.
To purge yourself.
Purge, like
purge.
I keep thinking of that movie.
Yeah, The Purge.
The Purge.
Yeah,
This would.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, he would commit perjury.
Right. Yeah, that is like.
You don't think like
Self-incriminating.
Roger Goodell would start like salivating at the mouth if he was like, they lied on their injury report.
Right.
Tom Brady suspended for a season.
Yeah, but his point wasn't to that, and I get that point of it. But his point wasn't that. It was to say that you're showing the league's trying to prove and trying to upgrade and trying to show kids and everybody that they're making inroads into head injuries, that you shouldn't play through head injuries. And then you have a guy that won the Super Bowl that basically gave the middle fingers to the whole league and showed everybody how great he was, and he had a concussion.
But the thing is, whose fault is it that Tom Brady played through a head injury?
To be fair, I've had head injuries, and I just don't tell people.
Do you think it's
Right,
Tom?
so
do you think
whose
it's
fault is it?
on me if I don't
is it,
report
or is it on the
team
doctors
staff.
to catch you with a medical?
But if I get hit and it happens and I don't let anybody know and I'm not acting crazy out of norm,
Right.
how do they know?
yeah, but I don't think it's. I don't.
But how do you know you have a concussion?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh no, because
You
you can tell you get hit in the head,
Right.
You the fucking world's spinning,
Right.
Like with me, I get hit in the head. I pinch a nerve. I've been hit in the head. My arm gets the pinch nerve in my neck. My arm goes numb. I'm in the huddle going, I really hope we score a touchdown because I need to get off the field. But I'm going to stay out here. I can't feel my hand right now.
Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady tells a story where Drew Bledsoe, after he got his bell rung and his chest collapsed and his lung punctured and everything, the whole kit and caboodle, that he came over and started saying to Tom, remember, Drew went back into that game. A lot of people forget that he went back in. And then when he came back after the series, he says to Tom, hey, Tom, how do we call the check with me's? How do we call the check with me's? And Tom's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Where he's like, how do we say the check with me's? And Tom's like, someone's got to come over here or whatever. Like, he's out of it. I don't think Drew Bledsoe knew at that moment he had a concussion. That's what I'm saying. And so when you're in it, you don't know you have one.
By the way, stay woke. Notice how Tom Brady got Drew, the doctor.
Right.
He was just scheming for the job.
He knew
what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
Hey, I
This
want
is,
that shit.
Is this episode 32 or 33?
33.
33. Stay woke.
Yeah.
That's the episode name.
No, I just feel that he, as a ambassador to the league and how much good publicity I feel he's started to get back.
Good word. That's a good word.
I feel that now you saying that you had a concussion and you played through it,
But the thing is, he hasn't said
I
that.
don't think it helps anybody.
no, I don't. I don't think it helps anything. But if you now get a concussion and it comes out again, now here's the thing where it fucked up. He let his smoking hot wife talk.
Well, I mean, she does. You can't
But that's
let
the
her not
problem.
talk. She talks
But that's
to
the
everyone.
problem. If she had any common sense, let's bring it all back to the real fucking problem. His wife needs to know when to shut the hell up.
I think she did it on purpose. She wants him
I
to
think
retire.
she wants him to retire. Right.
She
think she's
does
done
not
enough,
want him
right.
to keep playing.
Right.
Why?
He told her. Hell no.
She
She tried to get him to retire.
I mean, I
this
get
year.
it. She
Yeah.
retired from modeling. I get it.
And also,
you want
but
to
I mean,
settle
like,
away with him.
And do you want your husband to turn to Junior Seau and put a fucking... You know what I mean?
Not only
Like,
that, Tom Brady doesn't
but he-
approach football like normal people approach football.
That's
I'm
the
sure
thing.
in the
I think he takes
offseason,
care of
he's
himself.
not... Yeah, but I'm saying in the offseason when most people are spending a bunch of time with their family, Tom Brady probably still dedicates a certain amount of that time.
she posts like Instagram photos of him even during the season, like 3 a.m. He wakes up and he's watching film.
And not only
she's
that,
like, I woke up to go to the bathroom and here's Tom. He's in his film room, like watching film. Like,
I want to go...
sick.
That's
If you're
during the
Giselle,
season.
and if you're
Well,
Giselle...
but do you think he doesn't do that in the offseason? Most people are trying to sleep well before
Yeah.
the game. Most people are trying to
Yeah,
get their
but
rest, you know,
I've-
and especially for a guy that's so committed to his rest and relaxation. And
But I'm
rebuilding
not.
himself.
I'm not.
The guy is football 24/7.
I'm not even an eighth or a fifth or like a second or just like 2% of Tom Brady.
You made yourself larger. You made yourself closer. An eighth, a fifth, or a second. That is
Sorry,
You made yourself a bigger fraction.
No. Like I'm not even like 2% of Tom Brady's like talent.
Right.
Obviously, by any means.
Me neither.
No. But my point
I don't
is,
think all of us combined are even 2% of
but
Tom Brady.
I've talked to a lot of my teammates that no matter what position they played, a lot of guys have a hard time sleeping the night before a game because your mind is in game mode.
I don't doubt that, but I'm saying he's a complete
But we
regimen
see,
monster. I mean,
but do you
there's no
think-
one
but do you
wired like
think
Tom Brady.
But do you think he has a? And I'm not trying to make a joke, but do you think he has a regimen when he's over in fucking Brazil? At
Yes, yeah,
Cabarel,
I do.
and he's dancing on the fucking stages, and he's drinking and having fun with his wife and his kids.
I do.
No, I don't think he.
When-
I think he
when
turns
do-
it off
why do you-
sometimes.
I don't think he does.
I think you guys
I
are
don't know
crazy
if
to
he
think that
does.
he doesn't take one day off.
Why would I think that?
Because he's a human being.
Do you think when's the last time you think Tom Brady got drunk? I don't think he does.
I don't think he does. He says he drinks every now and then. He'll have a couple beers and he'll have a couple whatever. But sure. Does he go out and party sometimes? Yeah. But do you think that means that his regimen is turned off?
No,
I don't think so. I think it's
But I don't think he does it.
I think it's premeditated. Like, okay, tonight I'm going to stay up till 10. I'm going to go to this place and I'm going to party with Giselle for a while, and then we're going to dance until 9:15, and then I'm going to whatever. And then
I think
and
they
then
regiment
get some-
sex. Like I think it's like this is my window,
This is
dog.
another sex and full pads type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Like I think I honestly believe that
Those kids were made on a schedule.
he is so different. I think he's beyond comprehensible. Like, and this isn't because I'm a fan of his. I think I've never ever met or heard of someone that is so tightly wound and so well structured about the weirdest nuances. Like, you think he's a fraud?
No, I don't think he's a fraud. I didn't say that.
No.
I'm saying that.
Well, no, you're saying you don't believe that he's as tightly wound as the advertisement
because I think
is.
he's during the regular season when he's playing fucking football.
In the
Dave,
offseason. All right, so he loses the AFC Championship. He goes and buys a fucking giant countdown clock that counted down to the starting second of kickoff Super Bowl 51.
Okay.
And he kept it right in front of his gym. So he sat there every time he works out. All right, I got fucking 364 days left to do.
I don't think
that's the type
you
of
don't-
sick shit that I'm talking
Okay,
about.
so
No
he
one
took that.
does
So he took that clock with him on fucking vacation.
No, but he works out at home too.
My point is,
I mean, like, what do you
no,
mean?
my point is he doesn't take that shit everywhere
of course,
he goes.
it's not logistical. Like that is not.
No,
that's
but my
fucking
point.
ridiculous.
No, I mean the mentality.
But you think he doesn't work out when he's on vacation?
No, I think he does. But I
Okay,
think
so
you get up.
You think he goes to bed. You think he goes to bed on time. You think he works out, and you think that he's always thinking about football. What are we arguing?
What you're arguing is you're saying that Giselle wants him to stop doing all those fucking things.
Of course.
You can still work out. People have everyday jobs. Go and work out in the morning. Go do their job. Work out after work. Go home and spend time with their kids.
I think Giselle doesn't want Tom Brady to put a fucking shotgun in his mouth and blow his brains out because he has CTE. That's what I think she doesn't
Okay,
want.
then why would she say anything about it? Why wouldn't she tell him, hey, you need to go to a fucking doctor?
She told him, I want you to retire. He said, tough shit.
Well, then
That's
don't
the
be
story.
married to
That's
a
the
football
story.
player.
Tom
Don't
Brady-
be married to a football
Tom
player.
Brady in his Peter King interview after the Super Bowl said, I love three things in life: my family, playing football, and preparing to play football. I honestly don't think there's been a single day since 2001 where he hasn't thought about football. Even on vacation.
He just said recently he never stops thinking about playing the game.
yeah,
I
He
don't
never
stop
stops thinking
thinking
about
about football.
No, I don't know if that's true. Like,
I mean, I'm obsessed with
your
football.
job consumes a lot of your mind.
I've spent-
all the other
Yeah,
stuff
but
you do.
there, to think when I'm pulling a pallet, I don't think about oh man, I do run through shit in my head.
Of course,
I think about other stuff.
Right.
I'm not all day, hey, I got to move this pallet here. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. And then when I get out of work, well, I got to see my girlfriend. I got to make dinner. I got to do this.
We just talked about how I'm hyper-focused on the podcast.
Yep.
Right. There's a difference between me saying, I never stop thinking about the podcast, and me saying, I think about the podcast occasionally throughout the day. There's a difference.
I think if you factor in vacations.
I'm not saying I never don't think about the podcast, because I think about when I'm on the phone with my boss. I think about what me and Carolyn are going to do. I think about, I do. But a lot of my non-distracted thoughts are spent on the podcast. You know what I mean?
You can do that and still go and do shit with your family.
I think he does. No, but that's the thing. I think Giselle wants more, and I don't think he's willing to. I think he does take time, and like, I scheduled out these 2 weeks. I'm going to spend this time with my family.
Yeah.
I scheduled out. We're going to go on a 3-week vacation at the end of the season.
Right.
But it's still football, like 98% of the time. It's like a 2% of the time, and I think what Giselle wants is, and what I think a normal NFL player does is more like 60% of the time is football, and 40% of the time they do family shit.
Right.
And I think Tom Brady is like even smaller of a pie chart.
I think it's an even smaller of a pie chart, and I think it's different because he's going into his 40s. So it's like, do you think Giselle at 30, whenever they met, 7-8 years ago, when
expected
he was expected him to still be playing football for probably another 5 years?
So the same thing that I always tell everybody, and everyone always says, well, you knew that when you married him.
No, but you didn't.
I think she's starting to realize it.
If he's been that serious about it, as Joe said, since 2001,
right?
He's never turned it off.
But he said, "I want to play 10 more years."
She knew that when she married him.
I think
I want to play 10 more years. But
no.
The clock the field goal post keeps moving with him, because now it's I want to play 5 more years, and now it's like if I get to 45,
I think
feel
Aaron's
like
kind of right though. Like I think she knew how obsessive he was with
football.
Well,
yeah.
That's my point.
But I don't think she knew the length
about the age she was going to retire.
I don't think she knew the length of how long he was going to play.
But here's the problem.
Right. She never complained about it though until now.
Here's the thing though: if Tom Brady got lit up like freaking Joe Theismann, different story.
Right.
Brady calls it a career at that point.
I think Giselle was like, he'll probably play into his late 30s.
Right. When he was saying, I think I
like
got 10
most
years
quarterbacks do, and then retire. I don't think she was expecting like
he's at 40 saying, I got 5 more years, and if I still feel the way I'm feeling now, we'll
see
what happens from there.
In her mind, she's like,
about 50? Like, are we talking about 50?
In her mind, she's like, you're 40 years old. You've accomplished like everything you can accomplish.
If he's that regimented, and he knows what's going on in his life, and she fucking knows every waking moment of his life because she keeps an eye on him, and she retired from modeling, and she has her kids. She has to know what Tom's doing. Blah 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 blah. She knows. They've had this discussion. They had the discussion, and he told her flat out,
"Tough shit.
I'm going to keep playing."
Right.
So to say that like he shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like we also got way off fucking track because it's all about Stephen A.
Well, yeah,
and we just went way off track.
The topic is about whether or not he should report his concussions, and
I think if he's taking that, I don't think he takes as many hits as you're saying Junior Seau did. Junior Seau, watch a fucking highlight reel of that motherfucker
No.
before they change the rules.
Yes, say 98% of football players have CTE.
Okay, and majority of people that played high school football probably have it as well because it's not. You're not trained well.
There are still levels to CTE.
There is levels.
There's Junior Seau level, and then there's I'm sure Troy Aikman has CTE, but you can't fucking tell.
Now, do I think that he has the same level of CTE as Junior Seau? No. Do I think if he keeps playing, he increases his odds? He increases his chances. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. You get levels, and why are there levels? Oh, because it continues to happen.
But also the same reason why Tom Brady's still playing and why he still wants to play into his 40s is because if you breathe on him or you touch his helmet with a hand, I'm not saying that.
Right.
But the way the rules are set, he didn't make them. He doesn't fucking tell people how it goes.
Right.
But the way it's played nowadays,
the quarterback's
sets it up where he doesn't get hit as much.
Right.
Yes, you might not get.
I don't agree with this.
You might not get hit head to head, but you fall on the ground and you slam your head in the ground. You can get a concussion. Right. It can happen.
Tom Brady holds the record for most hits in a playoff game.
That is true.
Okay,
with Denver last year.
All
time. He's been hit the most out of any quarterback all time. And they get hit. They just can't get fucking smoked. like they used
They
to.
can't get hit late.
That's the point.
But they can get hit.
They can get hit, right. They still
Tom
get hit,
Brady
right.
gets hit. It's not like he's not. It's like
Right.
the 2 years ago when that offensive line was shit. Tom Brady got beat the fuck up.
Yeah,
those Giants Super Bowls, he got beat the fuck up. But you are right. The rules are different. He can't get fucking.
The quarterbacks are protected.
They're not
more.
fucking jumping like leaving the feet and helmet to helmet quarterbacks.
Right.
But that's my point. Is
clubbing
he
him in the
must
head.
look
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
he is a guy that's so in tuned with himself. He knows what's going on. He sees what's going on, and he must see that his offensive line has gotten more gelled together. He played good last year. He feels good.
Also, do you think this is an Alex Guerrero thing?
The concussions or the 45?
The him not reporting the concussions.
Yeah,
Because
they had that
Alex
that
Guerrero
drink.
is like a weird dude, and he thinks he can treat concussions, and I think Tom Brady kind of buys into that a little bit.
They co-endorsed
So
the
maybe-
NeuroSafe drink, which was
Maybe
supposed to help
he
with
thinks
concussions.
like, "Hey, I don't need to report this to the doctor."
Of course, well,
like,
yeah, saying
Guerrero.
I have a concussion is not good for the TB12 brand.
Yeah,
Right. It's not going to look good.
Yeah,
they're
'cause
oh,
you're-
well, wait
it's
a
all
minute,
about
you're still
preventing
getting hurt.
injuries,
Yeah,
yeah.
like wait, so your peak performance, you can still get concussions though, like
Yeah.
and which I mean, yeah, no shit, no duh.
Yeah.
But it's not a good look if you're all about peak performance and physical well-being.
Also,
and all
if he
that.
honestly believes that he can treat it himself,
Mm-hmm.
why make a stir and report it to doctors? Like,
Right.
if Tom Brady truly believes that Alex Guerrero, I'm not saying that he does, but I'm
Right.
saying if Tom Brady
if
thinks he does,
NeuroSafe works,
Yeah.
right, right.
even if it doesn't, if Tom Brady thinks it does,
right. Why would he say to a doctor, "Oh, I need you to help me"?
Or that
Because-
NeuroSafe stuff is actually supposed to prevent concussions. So, like we talked
train-
about,
yeah, they think you can
maybe
train
he
your brain.
didn't think he had a concussion because he was like, maybe I just have a headache. Like, I can't get concussions. I drink NeuroSafe. So this isn't a concussion. This is just me feeling weird.
Right.
You know what I mean? That could honestly be a real thing that Tom Brady thought, which is why he doesn't report them.
Right.
Which is
Or-
why his
or-
wife would go on record and say, I think he had a concussion.
Right.
And maybe he was like, I don't think I had a concussion. That's why I didn't say anything.
Right.
Like, I drink NeuroSafe. I can't get a concussion.
And also, just because she says, "I think he had one," doesn't mean he had one.
Well, also
the
like you
report
said,
is she didn't say, I think he had one. She said, we talk.
Oh, we talk. Yeah.
At
Right.
night. I lay down next to him. I know.
Right.
And then he came out and said,
This is
he said most recently it's no one's business.
No one's
But
business,
before
right.
that, he said, like, you know, she worries about me. My family
Right.
worries about me.
Yeah.
But he's never said I had a concussion. Like, there's no proof that he had a concussion.
Yeah.
It's just her saying, like,
Right.
I know.
right.
at the end of the day, it's your decision as a professional athlete.
Absolutely.
The point that Stephen A was trying to make, what example does that show to the younger generations that are coming up playing the game? And that's what he was trying to get across. It just came off weird. And to the point of every fucking athlete that's an asshole, I'm not a role model. Get it. But Tom Brady operates on a different mentality when it comes towards people and the public. He wants people to like him. He doesn't want to come off as, I'm not a good role model for your kid. He might not ever say, hey, I'm the perfect role model for your kid, but he likes that image. He is a nice guy. He's not a shithead.
Yeah.
He doesn't go around fucking beating women, doing
right.
drugs, fucking
Right,
shooting
yeah,
guns
yeah, yeah.
off.
Right.
Like, he's not a
But
crazy asshole.
he had a child out of wedlock.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And I hold that against him. I hold that against him.
He's on the list, by the way, Brady.
Brady. Well, I know that for other reasons.
But yeah, and even that, I like.
But at the end of the
I
day,
don't-
that's none of
you
my
can't-
business
yeah,
either.
I can't cast a stone.
It's
You know
none
what
of my
I know a
business.
ton of people that have had children out of wedlock, and I don't think they're
Oh, I
pieces
don't
of shit
give a
for it.
fuck
Like, yeah, I don't
about
care
that.
about it. I don't care.
At the end
But,
of the day,
that's your opinion. I mean,
yeah,
that's, yeah.
yeah. At the end of the day, that doesn't.
If that's the worst thing you do,
yeah. Well, I was gonna say,
and he's
if,
still a good
if you
dad to
wanna,
that kid.
I was gonna say, if you want to compare that to like Chris Henry beating his girlfriend and then
Right.
falling and dying off the back of the truck,
Right.
Like to the levels.
Right.
Oh my God, he decided he didn't want to sleep with one supermodel and he ended up
Right.
with the
Yeah, with
with the
another
most.
one.
She was a famous actress, but
yeah,
No, she was also a supermodel.
was she?
Yes,
Oh, I only knew her.
I
from
looked it
Iron
up.
Man.
Oh, I looked it up.
yeah. Yeah, I just think, I think Kirk Minahan said well in the interview, if you need Tom Brady to tell you that football is dangerous and that you can get injured while playing it, you got bigger problems.
No, he's correct. Your coaches should be telling you that.
The coaches should, and
I don't think it helps Tom Brady's like image to say I have a concussion.
there's absolutely no benefit
There's
to it.
already this narrative that Tom Brady is soft. which go watch the Urlacher video.
Watch them juke.
There's already this narrative that Tom Brady is soft. If he was like walking out of an important game to his coaches to say, I have a concussion, you don't think like the internet narrative would be like, look at Tom Brady, he can't fucking take a hit.
Yeah. But hit him early, he gets all flustered.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. That's the whole narrative of the nation where they just hate Tom Brady. People that
I hate that narrative.
But no, so do I. But the point is, if you ask a parent to a player of a little league kid, and they see a player say, "Listen, I got a concussion, I got to come out," and that sends an example to their kid, like, "Listen, if something happens, you have to say something. You can't just fucking let it go and let it get worse." That's what that Stephen A. is trying to say.
I understand,
and it's not right, but it's also not wrong.
It's not. You're not. You're not there to set the example.
Yes, but at the same time, if your brand is TB12 and how great everything is,
so check it out. My brain's mush. I also have torn my ACL before. I have played with a separated shoulder. I have played with broken ribs. I have all these injuries that are also reported. He's still playing well, really well for a guy that's 40. But all of a sudden it takes a hit. Oh, wait a minute. So Brady's totally touchable. Like, he's very tangible. The thing that makes TB12 work is the fact that we think that Tom Brady is like just different. He's just different. He's 40.
No quarterback has ever succeeded in their 40s.
He's getting faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's more mobile now at 40, which is crazy. He's more athletic looking. That's the mystique. But if it's like, oh no, you're totally tangible and your head's been rocked and you got fucking mush for brains, then fuck it. What's the matter? Like, what's the point?
No, but here's the other thing. He's not. What's his name that played for Chicago for the '85 Bears?
The refrigerator?
No, the quarterback. McMahon.
Yeah.
He's not Jim McMahon walking around the house, walking from one side of the house to the other, forgetting it.
But the thing is that takes time to set in too. Like, how do we know he's not in 15 years?
That's the point. But here's the end of the day. That's the other little snippet to the discussion. If somebody told you, and a lot of players have been asked this question, would you do it all over again?
They would say, yeah. Oh, yeah.
100 times over.
Yeah.
Because there's no other place you could play a game and get paid that much money to do what you love.
That kid, the rookie for the Jets, the safety, just said there's no better place to die than on a football field when they asked him about the concussion study.
If I had to die for this, I would.
But that's the point. It's a different mentality.
Right.
If you want that...
Anyone going into football now, they know. If you're an adult and you're letting your kid play football, you know. It's not like before, back then, when they didn't know the effects.
Okay, I think here's my problem with it. All right, so I guess this just dawned on me. Why should Tom Brady report that for Stephen A. Smith? This goes to why should Tom Brady report it more than Tom Savage?
No, I think everybody should report it.
No, but he's saying Tom Brady being the face of the league, he has a responsibility to these people being the whatever, which is a really good Stephen A. impression. By the way,
it's on par with your bait.
Also, the guy that asked him that fucking interjected and threw this at him, that he was having the discussion with, is the same guy that won't let his fucking kid play football because of head concussion. So what right does he have to fucking say that Tom Brady should cover him up? He's not even going to let his own kid play football.
Who is Steve?
No. Fucking Minahan. I'm never letting my kids play football.
That's his decision as a parent.
But that's the point. It's at the end of the day.
So wait a minute. Wait. I don't want to do fucking 25 minutes on BalkTalk, but what does Kirk's decision about not letting his kid play football have to do with saying that Tom Brady shouldn't have to report it? That makes Kirk's point. Like, I get it. I don't need Tom Brady to tell me the game's dangerous. I'm a good parent. I'm going to tell my son it's a dangerous sport. I don't want you playing it.
Okay, so
without Tom Brady having to say, "Hey, world, I get my bell rung every now and then." Like, I don't get that.
I think what Stephen A. was trying to say was setting an example to younger athletes, which. Yes, if you play honestly,
so let's say Kirk's kid.
No, good example. Hey, if you play a sport and you get hit in the head and you feel really funny and you're walking around and you don't know exactly where you are,
tell someone.
You should probably tell someone, because if you get hit again like that, it could cause severe damage.
I think that's
what the league and other players and
So
organizations.
run a commercial during the sport.
Okay, so then why doesn't he
game.
do a commercial for it then?
Why would Tom Brady have to do a concussion commercial?
Because he's the face of the. He's the face.
I don't think anyone in the NFL respect. Like, I don't think that like if Tom Brady to NFL players, I don't think Tom Brady means more than Tom Savage to the players.
Right.
I don't think they like if Tom Brady saying I have a concussion and now I'm telling I don't think they give a fuck.
No,
I think that safety on the Jets who said he would die on the football field
once again
gives a fuck that Tom Brady told
different mentality.
But to the like, we keep looking at it as Tom Brady needs to tell the parent, like he needs to tell a concussion so that the kids know that you can get a concussion in football. That's not what it is. It's he needs to. Stephen A's point, which I don't agree with, but I understand it, is if Tom Brady comes out and reports his concussion to a doctor. Mm-hmm. That's telling kids who get concussions when they play football, not that hey idiot you got a concussion because you were playing football. Like, hey idiot, tell a doctor that you have a concussion.
That's what Stephen is.
No, that's not what he's saying. Because he said it's irresponsible for him to say it's nobody's business. At this point, he's reacting to Brady's statement. He's not saying during the game you need to report that. He wanted Tom Brady to say I had a concussion in week 6. That's not going to the doctor. That's not setting the example.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's saying
he
said it was an immature response to say that it's no one's business. He says that's immature and quite frankly it's irresponsible being the face of the league.
But the point is, if you get a concussion, you're more susceptible to get another one. If you don't report them to the doctors don't know how to treat you, don't know your history on them. If you don't ever
Simple
report...
Simple CAT scan.
Wes Welker gets concussions when he eats corn on the cob. He's gotten so many, it's just
true,
like...
yeah.
But the point is...
full contact corn on the cob eating, he has a concussion.
Right, just bobbing for apples. Fucking
Aaron's right, you do. They just come like this at a certain point.
I know that. But you do a CAT. Any good goddamn doctor say, wait a minute, so you're having short-term memory loss, and
now you're too far gone at that point.
Right. No, and I get it. But I mean, if you're already a few past and you need to figure out what's going on, you do a CAT scan. Like, oh yeah, you definitely have a brain bruise here and a brain bruise there and a brain bruise here.
Yeah, but I don't think that's. But the thing is that that is irresponsible to wait until you have multiple brain bruises and you don't remember if you put your watch on.
It is, but that's not our business. What Tom Brady does.
I don't think Tom Brady should have told. Like, I don't even know if he had a fucking concussion.
Right. Even if he did, and even if he waits till the point where he forgets where his watch is and all that stuff and who his kids are, that's not my business.
If Bledsoe went out there and he threw a fucking interception and he fucking cost you the game, you should have fucking reported it, asshole. Pull yourself out of the game.
Would have been any.
He doesn't. I don't think he knows at the time. That's what I'm saying.
But that's
he didn't
the
even
point.
know what the word was. But so isn't it? You have people in place, especially now with the NFL's protocol, concussion protocol. If I got my bell rung like Drew Bledsoe, and I'm thinking I'm fine, I just can't remember this word. I can't remember what do we say? What do we say? I feel fine, but what's that word? I would not tell a doctor, hey, I can't remember a word. What was it? I was going to say.
That's a little. It's different than getting like a stinger where your feet go numb. Like you should definitely not play.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But if you're just feeling like, oh damn, I can't think of this thing or whatever, then you're gonna go to a doctor for that. Like, what are you going to do? So I think that's absolutely the team's responsibility. How many quarterbacks do you guys think are actually reporting their concussions, or do you think they're being caught at the time?
Big Ben has had a concussion?
Or are you watching Tom?
See, I'm okay with him getting as many as fucking possible.
Of course, because he's on the list.
But Tyrod Taylor's small and runs the ball out of the pocket. You don't think he's ever had a concussion?
Here's what I think it is. I think you watch Tyrod Taylor run out of the pocket, get his fucking clock cleaned, and then a doctor runs over right away. Hey, you know what I mean? Like, follow the lesson.
Edelman had a concussion.
So that's
that playoff game.
Right.
Edelman had a concussion, no doubt.
So that's two things. That's the league. Mm-hmm. That's the players should be taking a note of that. Mm-hmm. So every time somebody gets hit, what you're telling me is they should be checked out.
No, I'm saying that there is
a rule.
There's certain hits where you know.
Okay, I understand that, but
that's a rule. That's a rule. They passed it.
Okay, no, but if Tom Brady whacks his head because he gets kind of like bumped over,
regular sack,
should just instantly they should check him out.
No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
But that's the point that they're trying to say is they don't want concussions. They don't want kids to play with concussions.
Right.
So if you're going to get one on something simple as that, you should check them out after every fucking play.
After every play, the game would last for 2 fucking weeks.
Okay, but that's the point. You either make the
right, because the league doesn't give a shit about concussions. Wait a minute, I can't believe that this is news. The NFL doesn't give a fuck about concussions. They don't care about the player safety.
No, but that's
They're
the whole
advertising it. That's a fucking commercial.
No,
that's
I understand
money.
that,
So they
but
don't
that's
give
the
a
point.
shit. So why would Tom Brady take it upon himself to report a concussion where he would have to miss time for a league that doesn't even give a shit about his concussion?
But if
why
that's,
should he tell
but
someone that? If Roger Goodell is looking at him and saying, "Fuck yourself," blow
as
your
the
brains
best
out as an
quarterback
adult.
in the NFL, and you're supposedly
Tom
involved.
Savage should do it too. Tom Savage should
Yes,
do it too.
yes.
Okay, so
what's
then why
wrong
does
with
it-
that?
so why-
Every
why does
fucking
everyone-
player be in the same fucking boat.
So why
just
does
because he's
Stephen A.
Tom
Smith- you just said
Brady,
it. You said
he
he's the
should
best
not
player in the
fucking.
league. You just
So
said he's the
why
best
is
player in the
Tom
league.
Brady pulling himself out of the game any different than fucking any star wide receiver pulling himself out for a fucking hit?
None of them do.
No,
But that's
no
the
one,
point.
No one does.
But
You're an athlete. You know that.
Okay.
You played football. You're telling me that you would have sacrificed the opportunity to play for a game because you had an injury? You owed that
Dave,
to someone?
If I'm all right. First of all, if I get hit and I don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
but
You would run
I
to a
don't.
doctor.
But I don't know. I don't
believe
No,
it.
I'm playing your fucking idea.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I have a concussion.
Okay.
I'm running around and I don't know. That's it.
Right.
If you're doing that, to be honest with you, then your teammate should fucking stand up and say something.
Okay, that's different. That's a totally different thing.
No, it's not. It's the
It
point
is,
that they're
because
trying
we're
to get
talking about Tom Brady reporting it himself. I'm saying, as a competitor, as an athlete, you're telling me that you would sacrifice snaps to someone else, and that way you could do the right thing and make sure that you sent the right message and showed all the kids that might be watching in the bleachers that this is what you do. You go to the doctor. Absolutely not. I played ball. You played football. You know that you would never ever give someone else an opportunity to take your fucking job. You
But
know
that's
that.
the narrative in the public eye that you have to do that. You have to show that kids, you have to report this. You're getting around the point
just started.
that's the point.
That
But
just
that's the
started.
whole reason why Stephen A. Smith is saying that.
I don't agree that it's the narrative though, because I don't want
That
Tom
is the
Brady, I
narrative.
don't want Tom Brady to come off the field. I don't care. If he has a
Nobody does,
concussion.
but that's the point.
And neither does Tom.
No, I understand that. And at the end of the day, he's a grown ass man that has the right to make that decision.
You're talking
They're
about a guy.
trying to talk about the whole point of the whole situation is they're talking about, and this isn't their response. I get it. It's not their responsibility. It's the parents' responsibility. It's the kids' responsibility. But it's all about the kids. That's the whole point. It's the narrative in the public eye. I understand the NFL could give a shit less because they haven't cared until these people started suing them.
Right.
They made a fucking movie about concussions and they fucking shit all
They destroy
over
the
it.
NFL now. Right.
So my point is, if you want to be quote unquote the family guy, the guy that cares about his health, to that point, he cares about his health. He's got a brand about health.
He cares about football, too.
Yes. So that's the thing. He makes a business decision for himself and his family is, listen, sometimes it happens and that's what I got to do. That's on him. But as a child, that's where they're trying to project it to. I'm not saying you're wrong in that it's not their responsibility to tell
so
kids
much.
when they need to come off the field, but that's the way it's narrated in public eye.
That's like accusing Marilyn Manson for Columbine.
Yes, I think that's stupid. I'm just saying.
right.
I'm not saying that that Stephen A. Smith is right that it's Tom Brady's fault. My point is the way he
But you
was
agree
trying
that he should.
But the way, because if you go based upon what Stephen A. Smith's whole premise to the situation is, that you're projecting this to the youth,
Right.
That's what he's trying to say. That's my point.
And you
is
agree with that?
I agree that you should be projecting an image to the
That's
kids.
what I disagree with.
I agree with it if you get smacked like Edelman did in that game where he clearly had a concussion. I know he had a concussion watching it. You probably did.
Right.
You were probably like, holy shit, he probably has a concussion.
Started crawling the wrong way. Like,
Did you ever last year think Tom Brady took a hit where you were like, he probably has a concussion?
No.
Ever?
No.
This apparently
It
happened.
doesn't get touched.
But
Did they think it happened in week 6?
Okay.
I don't
so-
know. I say
Oh,
this as
so-
Let's say it happened in week 6. Tom Brady did interviews. He did his normal media appearances.
every week.
No one ever even hinted that he might have a concussion because it never showed.
The
Okay,
only
so
injury he
The
received
only
last year
reason
that I
you
know
even
of-
know that he might have had a concussion is because Giselle said something 3 months after the season, 4 months after the season ended.
But to that point,
So why does he have to report it if A, we're not even sure it happened, and B, you never even knew he had one?
If he already
if
got-
no one spoke up.
But
How
if
many
he-
active
but if he
players
already got-
report their injuries?
But if he already got lit up, like you were saying, he got lit up like a Christmas tree in the playoffs, the Super Bowls, all this. So that was how many years ago? That was 10 years ago when he played in 07, the Super Bowl.
Right.
No, I'm talking about.
Yeah, no.
You're saying he took a beat.
He took a beat in all those games.
That was 2 years ago. 3 years ago.
Yeah, right.
But I'm talking about. But if we're talking about, we're talking about just the Super Bowls against the Giants, where he got lit up by what you said, Joe, is he got lit up in those Super Bowls.
Right. And the record-breaking game was the AFC Championship 2 years ago.
Okay, so that was 2 years ago. So if you're taking this beating for fucking 15 years, now
I like that point.
A bump on the fucking ground.
Well, he might have had a concussion, but the season's over for him at that point.
I understand that.
So he might have been getting treated for a concussion.
I like this point. I know what he's saying. He's saying after 15 years of getting potential concussions.
You said they can
at last year. It may not take the kind of hit you think to have a concussion. You know
what
I mean?
I'm saying is,
because the way you said they
you want them to report concussions, but that's only if people know they have concussions.
Right.
So no one's ever known that Tom Brady has ever had a single concussion.
Right.
Because he always just is Tom Brady.
Right.
The only reason anyone even knows about this is because Giselle hinted that he might have had a concussion. So I don't think Tom Brady coming forth and saying I had a concussion at this point matters anymore. What does it do?
Right. It does. It serves him no positive.
I had a concussion and no one fucking knew ever. No one brought up anything.
I think that's why he can't say anything. Because then you're saying, "Hey guys,
perjure yourself."
I should have missed time.
No, well, not even that. Hey kids, play through concussions. You can still win a Super Bowl. That's what I think. That's what Stephen A. is trying to say is that.
So Stephen A. is wrong, though. He should not say anything.
But no, my point is
Stephen A. should say you should at this point shut your fucking mouth.
No, he should. But that's the whole point of what Stephen A. is trying to say is, listen, kids, it's not okay to do that.
Right.
Well, good.
He wants him to say I had a concussion and I screwed up, and if you get a concussion, you should call an ambulance and
Stephen A.
That's what he's trying to say. That's all I'm saying.
And call a bottle of milk
ESPN
and whatever like that.
ESPN and Stephen A.
Once again, Stephen A. actually doesn't hate the Patriots.
No, I don't think. I just think he's wrong.
So I don't think he's coming at it from, hey, Tom Brady should lose some time here.
No, but that's what the narrative would become.
Yes. Right. No, I get that, and I get why that would be the blowback for him saying it.
Right.
But at the same time, all Stephen A. was saying is that he's a leader in the NFL. He's the face of the NFL, and he's without being, it's not his fault, but he's a person that kids look up to, man. That's what it is.
If Stephen A. cares about the kids so much, you should go to ESPN and they can shoot a white backdrop commercial where him and Wes Welker talk about how you should report your concussions. But I don't think it's Tom Brady's responsibility at this point, 6 months after, or a year after concussions have happened, at this point, potentially.
No, I think
for him to come out and say, I didn't report a concussion.
All right, so I'll concede to saying right now he doesn't need to say he got a concussion. But when you get one, you should speak up.
For your long term, I know you're sick of hearing about the seatbelts, but if you it only affects you,
right?
No, I understand.
For your own long term health,
you should. For
your own long term health, you should report concussions.
Yeah.
If you're worried about your long term health, if you're not,
also we don't know that he didn't report it to another doctor, Alex Guerrero.
But I absolutely think Alex Guerrero knew he had a concussion.
Here's the thing with that though: if he's an actual physician,
he's not. But yeah.
That's the point. Right. If he was an actual physician,
he'd be required.
You have a Hippocratic oath that you took. You have to, if you know he's fucked up, you cannot let him go out there.
Right.
At that point, you're in his pocket if you're not reporting it.
He probably pumped him with IV of that freaking
NeuroSafe
for a month and a half.
Yeah, and just to wrap up BalkTalk, my favorite part of the interview was how it turned to Floyd Mayweather. And like you said, if Stephen A. Smith cares about the kids so much and doing the right thing, then why are you out there playing slapdick with Floyd Mayweather, sending a message that this guy's all right, he's got a nice house, he's got fancy cars. How many square feet is this house? Oh, this one's like 20,000, whatever. What are you selling for Floyd Mayweather?
I put that more on ESPN.
I don't want
Floyd Mayweather be on TV, period.
I don't want to get into a huge argument about this, too, because we already talked about BalkTalk so much. But
Yep.
At what point do we stop? Like, how many times do you have to bring up that he's a domestic? Like,
Right, yeah.
every time?
Yeah, right.
No, to be honest, like if I'm the guy that has to interview him, I'd be like, so I have to ask it. I mean, that's what Stephen A. should do.
Like, it's like 7 years. Like, how many years ago was it at that point where they did the interview for the Pacquiao
That was
fight?
3 years.
Like, we did that already.
Out of prison, right?
You know what I
Which
mean?
was like 3 years ago. Yeah.
That's what Stephen A.'s point was back to Kurt Minahan. Like, I did that with him.
Right,
like,
right.
you can
I did ask those questions.
You can go find that interview too.
Right.
But this wasn't for that. Like, we already
But
did
I just
that
think
interview.
that you don't have to do that interview.
Yes, but here's
Like
the
you
thing.
don't have to play slapdick too.
But that they
Yeah.
sent, like you said, it's
ESPN.
If you want to
ESPN.
cover, if you want to cover the boxing match or cover the boxer, like he said, that's not. And that's like Kirk said.
Well,
you did an infomercial for
yeah.
Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? Like
You take him and you put Kirk in the same situation. Kirk's going to still sit there and not be amused by anything he does.
Right.
Stephen A. Smith understands that the guy sitting across from him is a piece of shit, and he doesn't deny that. But he also wants to do his job,
right.
and he also wants to be successful at it.
That's
I just don't know when's the cutoff. Like, they don't talk about Ben Roethlisberger raping people
Once again,
anymore.
Right.
Like, they don't bring it up every
that's-
time they talk about Ben Roethlisberger.
Right.
I do.
So, yeah, I do.
Hashtag people don't forget.
Every time domestic abuse comes up, Chris Henry gets referenced, and every time Ben Roethlisberger comes up, sexual assault gets referenced. Those are like two. Like 1
I only
plus
do
1
it to
equals
make
2.
I only do it to make Pittsburgh fans salty, but I don't like bring it up.
Right.
Like,
I'm not like, hey,
if
is
I'm
that
talking
Ben-
about how many yards he threw for last week, I'm not like. Side note, though, he did rape those chicks, so
Hey,
you know,
but it's been
asterisk
fun.
on these yards.
Hey, is Ben Roethlisberger going to be a top 10 fantasy quarterback this year? I mean, he did sexually assault 2 women a couple years ago.
I mean, I could have drafted him, but I passed.
Before I get into my thoughts on Ben Roethlisberger, let me
Right.
preface it by saying he also sexually assaulted 2 women,
And I'm fully aware.
and I'm fully aware of that. Now, getting into his ranking,
All right, so that was a BalkTalk.
I balk on the length of that BalkTalk.
Yeah, me too. That was long. It was long. We'll try and cut some of that out.
You don't have to. It was electric.
It was electric. That's true. That's true. Nice job, Aaron. You're proud of yourself. He's real proud of himself. You see his face.
Aaron took.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, me too.
That's me saying that to Aaron right there. Like, oh, I like that.
Aaron
That was
Aaron
legit.
took the advice of if
Hold
you
your
even
ground.
have a fucking tiny thing.
No, because
if you even have a tiny bit of thing to defend,
'cause
just fucking ride it to the ground.
because I listened to last episode and I heard the discussion after I stopped talking, and I was like, "Oh, well, you guys didn't mean it that way." But it
right.
sounded like I just gave up because I didn't want to argue. Like I was like, "Oh, I'm wrong." No, I just was tired of going around the same
Kaepernick,
circle with Kaepernick. I don't care about Kaepernick. I'm glad that he's not in the NFL. I really don't care. Like, not that I'm glad that like this man's not
Injustice.
employed.
It's an injustice.
I just don't give a shit. I think he's not.
We shouldn't expect you
Important.
at the march.
Yeah, I'm going to New York City for that. I'm going to stand right next to Spike Lee because that fucking asshole. Fuck him.
Spike Lee. Is he on
Fuck
the
him.
list?
Fuck him.
He's on the
He's
list.
on the
Fuck.
list.
Add him to the
Wow.
shirt.
All right.
Add him to the shirt.
Breaking news.
That
Spike
racist
Lee.
asshole.
Spike
Fuck him.
Lee. Wow. Right.
All right.
Yeah. So what's your not mad at it? I guess. Like after
Okay, so on a positive note,
I'm guessing it's not Spike Lee.
not
It's-
gonna be Spike Lee.
Spike Lee died today.
That's fake news.
That's yeah.
He got
That's it.
fist fucked until he died.
Stay woke, people.
Stay
Fake
woke.
news.
Stay woke. It's gonna say if you have a concussion, stay woke. That's gonna be the name of this episode.
All right, so the New England Patriots, first team in the NFL to get a plane for their team.
Not just a plane.
They decked it out,
And
they
two.
put.
They have two.
And so listen, so they bought one because to be the first team to actually own a plane. Most teams charter planes. Actually, 8 teams got refused by American Airlines last year. Pittsburgh being one of them, probably because they didn't want Roethlisberger raping any of the fucking flight attendants.
Yeah, you know that bathroom scene gets a little rough.
What?
Stay woke.
Stay woke. But they said that like it's just like ungodly amounts of money. Like it's like $3 million just to charter for like the whole team, all the staff.
Yeah.
It's just insane. So they're like, let's just go buy one and we'll deal with it. So they literally bought two. One is going to be their main plane, and then they bought a second one just in case they can't take like there's an issue with it. Everybody get out, get on the other plane. We're out of here.
They bought a backup plane.
They bought a backup plane, and they're being stored in Providence.
They said that second plane will be used to carry extra staff members, too.
If they need it. They said that it's it's going to be their backup plane.
They said that they bought them, they're used, which I don't like.
That just means that they're actually
Are you worried about like a We Are Marshall situation?
Like, no, just sort of
that's
like, a car hits 100,000 miles, you never know. You know what I mean? Like,
I think what that tells me is
planes run through a pretty extensive, like, hey, is this shit gonna blow up or what?
No, I think that it says to me they're flight worthy.
Right.
They've made some flights, and everybody hasn't died yet, so we're good.
They said they walked in, they ripped out all the seats and added the first class seats to the entire thing.
Yeah. And then you see the
I didn't even know they made 67s now. It's a 767. I
It's
didn't know they added 10 points to it.
And did you see the back of the back of the plane up on the top of the wing? I don't know what you call the big part that sticks up, backup fin.
There. Yeah.
It literally has all 5 championship trophies.
Did you know that you know how they make them like 757, 767?
Yeah.
That's really on a 1 to 1,000 Boeing scale. So they just haven't gotten up to 1,000 yet.
Really?
No, that's completely made up.
Oh.
I just made that up.
Stay woke.
Yeah.
Yeah, those planes are fucking dope.
You would be flying at like a 75% plane. Like, where's the 1,000
right.
sevens?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know what Boeing is.
It's a plane company.
It's a plane company.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Whatever. Well, it could just be like size. I didn't know weight.
The Boeing scale.
The Boeing scale.
That's how we're gonna rate everything from now on.
Stay woke. There. Yeah. One to 1,000.
How much do you like Shawn Michaels? Oh, he's like 1,000 Boeings.
He's like 1,000.
On 1 to 1,000.
He's definitely a 767.
Yeah.
Right now. Awesome. My BalkTalk, or my not mad at it,
We're
is
not doing BalkTalk again. Jesus Christ.
I want to get back into it. My not mad at it is one Aaron for holding his ground. That last round, I liked it. That was a good one. That was very genuine. I didn't know we were going to go there today, but you look so happy. I wish people could
tell the truth.
Yeah. But that was a good one. And also Vince Wilfork coming back. He signed a contract, right?
One
day deal. Retired as a Patriot. So now we've got Ninkovich.
The best is the
Wilfork,
way he retired.
Lonnie Paxton. Why? Why did Lonnie Paxton get to come back after he was forced to retire 5 years ago because the league didn't want him? And so 5 years later he comes back like, let me do a dayer and we'll retire this thing. So he came back. But yeah, good for Vince retiring through a what was it?
It was like a barbecue commercial.
Yeah, it was like a barbecue commercial ad or whatever they did, which is fucking awesome. And his speech was good today. So yeah,
did
shout
you
out to
see
Vince.
what Belichick said?
No.
Belichick went up there and was like, yeah, so I just want to clarify, Rob, you can back me up on this. He never failed a weight requirement, and he never failed a fitness test or whatever. Yeah. And then he goes up and he's like, yeah, I just want to clarify. He goes, 20 minutes after those weigh-ins, I wouldn't have made weight. I just want to clear that up.
I listened to the Pat McAfee podcast, and they talked about Vince Wilfork retiring, and he was like, I was punting, and I was talking to Vinatieri because he played on the Colts with, and he was like, when you see Vince Wilfork, when you go back to these Patriots things, I want you to tell him that he's my favorite. He's one of my favorite NFL players. And Vinatieri was like, all right, I'll tell him. He's like, then I saw Vinatieri, a couple days later or whatever. I was like, so did you tell Vince Wilfork that he's one of my favorite players? I was like, I did. You want to know what he said? He's like, yeah. He's like, dog, I'm everybody's favorite player.
That's good. Yeah, so, I mean, shout out to Vince. This is another one of those, like, Paul Pierce signing, like, the reason why they're not mad at it exists.
Yeah.
Vince Wilfork, big superhero. So, that's my not mad at it. What do you got?
I'm not mad at the hoodie doing push-ups with his third team in practice. So, the story goes that during the inter-team practice with the Pats and the Jaguars, the third team, the scout team offense, was out there in a goal line situation. Jacoby Brissett and co were trying to punch it into the end zone, and they couldn't. So to punish them, he made them drop and do push-ups. And because Bill Belichick realized that maybe it was his coaching that didn't get them into the end zone, he also dropped at 65 years old.
That's cool.
And did push-ups with his third team.
That tells me that he's sticking around for a while. He's still energetic about this.
Yeah,
His
he's been
third-
really coaching this year.
Third string team.
Right.
Like, these guys are barely sniffing a roster spot, some of them. And he's out there while Tom Brady's throwing concussion touchdowns and Jimmy Garoppolo is, practicing just in case.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's over on the goal line on a practice field practicing with, roster hopefuls and
grinding.
That's why
doing
That's
push-ups.
why he's the best in the
Best
NFL.
coach ever.
Where he is.
So dope.
How much credit do you give the Patriots' success to Bill Belichick?
A lot.
Yeah, I give a lot of it to him.
How much is Bill Belichick? How much is Tom Brady? I got this argument with someone.
I think it's 50-50.
I honestly think it is too, but this kid seemed to think it was like 70-30.
Belichick.
I'd be
Belichick.
I'd say 60-40.
I honestly think I might go 60-40 Brady.
See, I think there's a little bit of...
Bill Belichick has never made the playoffs without Tom Brady, ever.
That's true, but also Bill Belichick has done such a masterful job building rosters that Tom Brady has no control of.
Neither is Tom Brady.
I mean, yeah, he's only ever played with...
Hey,
You have an example. You have an example with Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick did make the playoffs
No, he
with the
didn't.
Browns.
The last year he was there?
That's his first year, then they got worse after.
Oh, so a team he inherited.
The team he inherited, yeah. Just throwing that out there.
I know he went like 5-11 with
The Patriots team.
Drew Bledsoe as a quarterback.
Right, but they also were like 4-12 the year before that.
And then went 0 for
0-3
with Drew Bledsoe at quarterback, and then Tom
Finished
Brady took
11-5,
over. They won a
12-4.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
No, there's some magic
where he won the MVP,
and then Tom Brady gets
which
hurt with an
I
undefeated
believe shouldn't have
team.
gone to him.
there. That definitely
But
was
that's
him.
just me.
That was him.
If you
final drive.
try and make a fucking argument for a kicker to win MVP,
That's what I was going to say.
I swear.
He made one kick.
Greatest kicker.
He's the greatest kicker ever.
Yeah,
That's
but,
true. Greatest clutch
you
kicker
can't
ever.
give an MVP for one game for an entire lifetime of
He should have.
fucking-
He should have got it from one of those championships.
He makes like one kick, though.
If it fucking wins the game,
They scored 20 points.
No. Want to know why kickers should never win? Because they should never miss kicks. You're hired to fucking kick.
It's true. Yeah, but
Okay,
that's like saying Tom
but-
Brady should never miss a throw.
You have one job. No, but quarterbacks have multiple jobs. They have to read the defense. They have to make the throw. They have to make the call. Kicker has one job. You
Yeah, but
line
there's
up,
also-
you
Yeah.
fucking kick. If you can't kick,
Yeah, but what if the snap's bad? What if the
Yeah,
holder
you
doesn't
can't
hold?
control
all
the
right.
snap or the hold.
I understand that. But if it's a good snap and a good hold,
Let's fire it up. Let's get this going.
if it's a
we're
good
arguing
snap,
about a kicker.
if it's a good snap and a good hold, you should never
You
miss
should
the
never
kick.
miss it. That's legit.
Yeah, it's like
Legit. What
it's
about
like
bad weather?
it's like
Any weather?
Anyweatherclothingco.com.
There's no such thing as bad weather. There's only unsuitable clothing.
Before we go into closing time, let's stop for clothing time. Go to facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. That's the letters NE Weather Clothing Co. Or you can go to anyweatherclothingco.com. Check out the Facebook store, facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. Go in the shop. You can find exclusive BS Nerds merchandise there, a hat and a t-shirt as of right now, with much more to come. Also, check out the other clothes he has. He also has a retro throwback shirt. He's got something for Foxwoods now, and he also has his own brand going. Go to anyweatherclothingco.com or facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco and use the exclusive BS Nerds discount code, which is the letters BSN ERDS and then the number 17. That's BS Nerds 17, and you have to capitalize the BSN. So that's capital B, capital S, capital N, ERDS 17.
It's closing time, nerds.
All right, welcome back to Closing Time, and that was another professional segue.
Welcome back to closing time.
Welcome back to Closing Time.
As if we were already in closing time before this.
Is that what I said?
You said welcome back.
Welcome back from last
Welcome
week.
back.
Welcome back from last week's
Welcome
Closing Time.
back.
What do you got for Closing Time, Joe? What's your thing?
Hey, I put out a podcast again. So
He does a show, in case anyone hasn't heard yet.
I host this little show called Joe's Fantasy Field Goal. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Could you go listen?
Check it out.
It's up. I give you 3 more points, 3 more tips.
That's the idea.
Dropping hot tips to stay woke for your fantasy season this year. And I'd like everyone to go listen to it. Also, I give the instructions on how to join the BS Nerds Best Ball Fantasy League we're going to have.
Is it like open? Is it ready?
It's not ready yet. I need people to I give you instructions on how to follow me on PlayDraft. So once I have enough people following me, I'll create the league.
Let me know.
And then it'll be
let me know.
It'll be random.
I'll be like, just listen to the fucking podcast.
Yeah, listen to the podcast. You'll get instructions, and then follow me.
Right.
That's the first step. You have to add me as a follower, and then when I create the league, I'll pull 12 random people.
I like that. Are we in it?
Yeah. Well, so
Guaranteed.
it'll be,
okay.
9 other random people if I count myself too.
I just want to make sure.
And I also talk about adding an email specifically for Joe's Fantasy Field Goal, and I gave the wrong name. So I didn't realize I said Joe's Fantasy Field Goal at gmail.com. It's actually Joe's Fantasy FG, just like the abbreviation for field goal. So Joe's Fantasy FG. There's obviously no apostrophe in Joe's, so
right.
Joe's Fantasy FG at gmail.com. Send me your drafts.
Nice.
And I will go over them. And also send me any fantasy questions you have.
Perfect.
I'll answer them on the show.
I like that a lot.
I'll also steal the same mail time drop probably.
Yeah,
because it's just the best mail time drop.
That makes a lot of sense. My closing time is a couple things. So we mentioned that the Facebook page has been growing a lot. I've been grinding, whatever. Like I'm grinding a lot to get that going.
Was that a clips grinding reference?
That was a quick clips grinding reference there.
It was actually not.
They call like the negative space at the beat there.
Yeah,
too.
It wasn't until you did the like that I knew it was the grinding thing because I didn't know.
That was when it became.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I was like, I don't think they say grinding. No, grinding.
No, I don't think so. So that's growing a lot. So be on the lookout and be active on that page because it impacts the social media second. And like we said, there might be a mailbag coming for this show here. And the other part is Dave Speaks. I know I've been kind of teasing this a little bit lately, like, oh, it's coming soon. I am currently collecting counterparts for the show. So it's going to be kind of a rotation type gig where it'll be like an interview type show. There's going to be different variations. It won't always be an interview. But you might get a good old rant if Justin Pedroia does something dumb again. Like fucking freak
Why's it got to be him?
Well, because he was already
one.
You know what I mean? So if, like I could do DP 2.0, and so
don't call it that.
Don't call it that. Just see what happens. See if I draw a different demo.
Post on Pornhub too. Yeah, it's gonna be a completely different demo.
And also, I'm gonna be doing like talking about topics with like one guy. So it'll be like a hashtag Dave Speaks with. Kind of thing, and it'll be friends of mine. I have a couple. Michael Dyer, we've talked a lot about on the show. He said that he would love to do that, and we might get into some Celtic stuff. He's also a big time, just all Boston sports fan, so we can.
God, this sounds like such a great idea. It's like almost like a genius came up with this.
So Joe spun this idea to me, and so I guess I'll give credit here. Stay woke, and also I have a guy who runs a website. So I think it's NFL32.com/Patriots. He runs the Patriots. He's the main editor for the Patriots.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So have him come on. So I'm working on kind of trying to get those things going. I figured to try to get people that doesn't really fit this show specifically. You know what I mean? And it could be what do you think about Robert Kraft sending the AFC Championship tickets out? Whatever, like conversations
topic.
like that. Yeah. And so that's where Dave Speaks. It's in progress. You know what I mean? I still got to work on the
still going
pieces.
to be Dave Speaks?
It's going to be Dave Speaks.
Yeah.
Right. It'll be Dave Speaks.
I didn't know if there was a name change or
it'll be
just a
like,
format change.
It'll be a hashtag Dave Speaks, and then for episodes that have guests, I'll say with so and so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that'll be it. And then if I'm alone, I'm doing something, it'll be hashtag Dave Speaks because it'll be just me. So That train is moving along. So every week where I say, "Oh, we're getting close," I really just want to make sure I have
are me and
stable.
Are me and Aaron barred from appearing also on Dave Speaks?
No, not at all.
Yes.
No.
Well, Aaron's after today. Aaron's out.
I figured that much.
No, of course. Yeah, no, you guys are always on. So if there's something, we can talk about. Really, what kind of triggered it was like you mentioned the idea, and then the conversation about Colin Kaepernick last week was like, fuck. That could have been a good just Dave Speaks. Like, what do you think about Kaepernick's situation? And then,
but only one of us.
Right.
Only one of us at a time. Like, you don't want me and Aaron on. It's just a Boston Sports.
No, just right. Yeah, because it'd be like, hey, let's just
that's
do it
just
for
the main podcast.
2.5 hours. Yeah. So but yeah, so that's coming. Stay tuned. It's. I'm not going to say it's this week or next week, but that will be a bi-weekly podcast, and that'll fall in the off weeks of WACP.
All right. Yeah. Perfect.
So that way we'll have 3 shows a week. There'll be yours, B.S. Nerds, and then either WACP or Dave Speaks.
Perfect.
So that's the program.
Now I'm going to have to figure out something to do with the off
season. You can come on Dave Speaks, man. Come on every so often. Be good. Aaron, what do you got for your closing time, bud?
I got my fingers crossed, my toes crossed.
I like it.
And we might need to cross dicks, too.
Wow. All right.
Never cross streams, Aaron.
I
didn't say streams. I said dicks. All right, let's get this right.
Let's just cross them.
No, I think that it would be amazing. At work, our local HR lady decided to let us know that she has a couple bundles of tickets to Red Sox games, 2 Sunday games and a Tuesday game. Hoping for the Tuesday.
Get the day off work.
And get the day off from work.
Yep.
And it's 4 tickets to each game.
Damn.
And we're all, if you want to be involved, you're entered into the raffle, and basically it's free. Yep. The company got the tickets. I don't know how.
Yeah, a vendor provided them.
And, I'm really hoping for fucking that.
Right. I will tell you this.
Hedging my bets.
If I win, because I'm also in on this.
He's not giving me a ticket. After today.
After this. I'm bringing Aaron, and I'm sitting for the national anthem and just to see what he does.
Who's driving?
The dynamic is shifted.
We'll figure that out.
Driving,
that out. Yeah, maybe it might be worth the drive.
Just forget about it. Forget about it.
Dave, as your attorney, I recommend that you drive.
Right, I drive and I ask for gas money. Right, that's the deal.
Yeah. So you sit. You ain't getting shit out of me.
You get the gas money up front.
Early. Yeah, like, hey, let's just stop and fill up now.
No, actually stand on your seat and then kneel down.
Right.
Just legit stand.
Just stand and kneel. Yeah. Like, I thought the kneel was better. I thought.
Don't he actually just kind of do like a squat, like a catcher squat?
I'm gonna do a handstand. Wow.
Is that even more respectful?
I don't know.
A handstand during the national anthem?
No.
What if I
that's
keep
like a talent.
What if I keep my hand over one hand over a heart?
That's almost like that's impressive. I'm not even mad. That's just impressive.
Because then I'm doing it upside down. What does it matter? Like my hat's off, my hand's over my heart. I'm standing, just on my hand.
Dave's hair is just drooping into into the beer and popcorn
on the concrete. Yeah,
like I said, I'm not even mad. It's just impressive.
So it just look like a mop, like swiping that stuff up. But yeah, no. If I
stand for the national anthem, you pleb.
Huh? What? So you pleb?
Yeah, stand for the national anthem.
What the fuck is a pleb?
A pleb is like a lesser person.
And we can
stay woke.
What I'm really hoping for is, Dave wants to fucking sit or kneel during the national anthem. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking videotape him during the fucking 7th inning stretch.
Oh, singing Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
Another deep cut.
Yeah.
Another deep cut.
You can't deny. Once that Sweet Caroline comes on, it's going to be... Dave's going to be full bum, bum, bum.
You're welcome.
No matter what, you film him doing that. No matter what, we get the bum, bum, bum.